Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today's presentation. After a week of rigorous work, 7 groups of students will present their final work today. This is the final presentation of Sustainable Development Camp for this year, 2022. To start the presentation, I would like to invite Professor Ozaki to welcome you all. And Professor Ozaki, please, you can come.
九州大学大学院人間環境学研究院の尾崎でございます。サステナブルデザインキャンプの主催者を代表しましてご挨拶申し上げます。I'm Aki Hitozaki, the Faculty of Human Environment Studies, Kyushu University. On behalf of the organizers of Sustainable Design Camp, I'd like to extend my greetings. Thank you for making time in your busy schedule to be here today. Sustainable Design Camp has begun as the international workshop on architecture and urban design of Graduate School of Human Environment Studies, Kyushu University, since 2008, and we devote much effort. Above all, this Sustainable Design Camp has a more important meaning because it is a part of double degree program with Busan National University and Tonjin University. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic, some students and professors from overseas universities could not gather in one place. But I think that everyone worked well at each university. Although the period of the workshop was limited to quite tight 9 days, students made strong effort to conduct a field survey, analyze the target area, and make design solutions, proposals, and presentations. The design-oriented students and the engineering-oriented students would have collaborated on each process through intensive brainstorming to propose a green urbanism. The attempt at the combined approach of design and engineering is an ideal way in light of developing sustainable environmental cities. Although all the proposals for urban redevelopment by each group have been carefully considered, I'm pleased and proud of the success of the international workshop on architecture and urban design. Finally, I'd like to extend our gratitude to all of professors and many others who helped us for their massive support in conducting this project. Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much, Professor Saki. Thank you for your welcoming all our invitees and distinguished professors. So I will take 10 minutes to those who are gathered here to explain the project. Professor Sakai will explain the project in Japanese, and after that I will try to explain the project, the background, what we're expecting from the students in English. So let me ask Professor Sakai to introduce our project, this year's project, to our the guests who are joining today. So please give me a few minutes to explain the are the project, this year's project. So the purpose of this particular project actually is to allow students to see how urbanization from a more comprehensive viewpoint, such as not just how to improve the economy, but not as to make it attractive to new residents, but also to make sure that the whole the process of development and design is taken consideration of the environmental aspect of it and the other engineering aspect of it. Therefore, and not just that, but at the same time, the social aspect of planning and designing urban areas. So we often ask students to group from different disciplines and from international backgrounds, so they can share their knowledge, know-how, and views, and develop urban designs in such a way that will be more sustainable and futuristic. So that is the basic goal of this particular project. And this year, our main the study area was the Nijo area, that is the western part of the Itoshima city. And we selected 6 sites, 6 tiny settlements along the main JRA line. And there are several fairly large settlements as well, but some of them are quite small. But what is common to all these places was that natural beauty and the traditional look of the area. So the job for our students and for us as well was how to improve, how to make these places more sustainable and futuristic and attractive to future residents, as well as improve the economic value of these places. So that is the main goal. And so 6 students, 6 groups, including one group we call the master plan group, developed these projects so that today they will present their work group by group. Okay, that's in English. 坂井先生、お願いします。
はい、私の担当は日本語ですね。先ほど見ていただきましたような、2条という、糸島の、西の方のエリアです。唐津にすぐもうすぐ唐津というような場所で、このプロジェクトを始めました。で全体としてはリゾート地です。で大変自然が豊かな場所にどうやって、あんまり大きな開発じゃなくて小さな開発を、やる時のマナー、考え方、これは特に今、環境の時代でございます。で環境をしっかり考え、これキャスビーというそれを測る指標がありますけれども、そのレクチャーも、学んで学生は作業をいたしました。それから歴史を学び、それから、全体の土地の、状況をしっかり、見た上で、このプロジェクトに取り組むというようなことをですね、これ建築だけじゃなくて、都市を学んでいる学生、それから構造、環境を学んでいる学生、それに加えて海外の、学生たちが、やっぱり似たような分野でランドスケープまで一緒になって考えるという、そういうことを例年やっているのがこのデザインキャンプでございます。それで、今回はですね、糸島市ですので、糸島市役所からも来ていただいて、お話を、聞いていただき、それからご意見も賜ればというふうに思っています。特にですね、糸島の東の方は随分開発が進みました。九州大学が来てからですね、随分いろんな開発が起きているわけですけれども、それもこのデザインキャンプでやった仕事が少し実現したりしております。で、今回はリゾート地2条の話ですので、レクチャーでは今日お見えになってます藤井博先生にもレクチャーしていただき、しっかり考え方を学び、そしてこのいろんな考えを学生が最初に感じたことをですね、 1週間という大変短い時間でやっていますので、それをご覧いただければというふうに思います。最初はマスタープランから始めて、駅が6つあります。で6チーム、作ってですね、駅から海までどういうふうな開発が一番いいだろうかと、彼らが考えたものを見ていただこうということでございます。よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much. So let's do not wait for the presentation. I would like to invite our first group, that is the master plan group, to present their work. So each group will take 15 minutes to speak. Within that 15 minutes, they will spend about 2 minutes to summarize their work in Japanese. And after that, we have about 5 minutes for comments and other things. So altogether 20 minutes.
So we will start explain about master plan. Our concept is enjoy Nijo on the road. The first is pre-analysis. Itoshima is located in the western Fukuoka, bordering Fukuoka City, Saga City, and Karachi City. The northern part of Itoshima has a beautiful coastline facing the Genkai Sea, and south is the mountain ranges. Next is historical background. Itoshima has been regarded as an important point of contact with the continent since ancient times. Then it is believed to be called as Itokoku, so many ruins still remain in Itoshima. Also, Itoshima city was formed by many mergers of many cities, towns, and villages over a period of about 100 years. This is current land use in the area. Chikuzen Fukai to Shikaka are closer to sea and mountain. Also, there are many facilities at Kafuri, Chikuzen Fukai, and Fukuyoshi. On the other hand, at Ikisan, Dainyu, and Shikaka, there are few facilities. The main road network in the Nijo area consists of 2 national highways and a prefecture road connecting the surrounding areas. However, since the road network from Chikuzen Fukai to Dainyu is relatively weaker than other places. And next is potential of each area. Kafuri and Ikisan have cultural and historical resources such as shrines and Japanese houses. And Dainyu, Fukuyoshi, and Shikaka have nature resources such as mountains and oceans. The last is the problem in this area. The problem is transportation from the station and the aging population due to population decline and the frequency of trains from Dainyu to Shikaka.
And next is concept plan. First, we can see a video first. In Nijo, mountains, sea, farmland, traditional resistance, and the natural resources are the most valuable treasures. And the human landscape is a reflection of people's wilderness. On train, on buses, on bicycles, on foot. Beautiful scenery can always be a surprise. So, our theme is enjoy Nijo on the road.
Master plan group?
Enjoy! Yes. And We want to control the landscape around the train line with the train and its stations as the central focus on, and develop the constructions of this train station to expand its influence in the region. And based on the present situation, we plan to divide the 6 area into 2 groups, one for cultural groups and the other for natural groups, and to connect the 2 groups with the Chikuzen Fukai Station as the most important transport hub and the survey center. We have reorganized and controlled and designed the area in a way that respect the current land use. The green part is the landscape control area, which meaning control the landscape around the railway. And the orange ones are the living service area, meaning for the provision of living service facilities. And the yellow section is the future development area, where we believe the population will grow as the nature develops. So we have given the area for the future development of living services. And the red triangle is where the historic sites is located, and we have established that the environment with a 10-meter zone around the historic sites need to be controlled and protected. Finally, both the natural parts of the mountain and the sea need to be protected, and so we set up as natural reserve area. Based on the above, our reason and our concept, we can know the traffic is very important. So next part is traffic plan. First is the train route. We can find this purple line is the current train line, and we discussed with the Daewoo group, and the station will move from there to there, and there will be a new station between the Shikaka and the Fukuyoshi. And about the bus route plan, in the picture, the green curve is the current bus route. From this bus route, we can find it's this bus route mainly concentrate on the Kafuri, Ikuisa, and Jikane Fukan. But in the last 3 sites, there are few bus routes. The connection between, especially the connection between the Jikane Fukan and the Teru, the connection is not good. So we first we designed a new bus route along the coastline to connect each site, and also we designed this 2 bus route in the mountains because we know in the mountains it has a very beautiful view, and there are many attractions in the mountains. So we designed these two bus routes in the mountains to connect these small attractions. And considering the cost in this mountain routes, we plan to use the electronic small bus, just to show these pictures. And this is a bicycle route plan. The first, the dotted curve in the picture is the bicycle routes between the sites, and the yellow curve is the bicycle routes in each site, and also each group there will be planned detailed bicycle route, and we also planned 3 bicycle routes in the mountains, and the distance is different. You can, according to your situation, to choose suitable routes. And about the shape route, we know in fact in Kafuri, in Daewoo, Fukuyoshi, and Shikaka, they are port, but only the fishing part. And we want to plant a new ship route in this area. And also we planned a new route from the Chikandifukan to the Hemijima, and also to the from the Chikandifukan to the Hakata and the Karatshu. This is the overall traffic plan. We can find the Chikandifukan is the transportation hub in the area. And to put it simply, you can take a ship, take a train, take a plane to the Fukuoka from the other, or drive a car from the other cities or other countries. And also you can take a train or take a ship or drive a car to directly go to the Chikandifukan. This area is a hub. And when you arrive at Fukuoka, you can take a bus, take a train, or drive a car to the first site, Cafe. Also, you can directly take a ship from Fukuoka to the hub. And in each site, you can take a train, take a bus, and drive a car or ride a bicycle. And also from the Chikandifukan, you can directly take a ship to the cafe, to the Teru, and from Teru take a ship to Fukuyoshi, from Fukuyoshi to Shikaka.
Next, we want to introduce our landscape plan. We found out that people can enjoy historical, cultural landscape and farm landscape from Kafuli to Ikisan. But in Shikaka, Fukuyoshi, and Dainu, due to the tunnels and high trees, we would like to cut trees down so that people can see continuous mountain and sea landscape. For the sightseeing route, we recommend to visit Nijo for 2 days in summer. Chikuzenfukai is used as a transportation hub. Visitors may firstly arrive at Chikuzenfukai, then settle down as a hotel using transportation like ships. People can reach at Kafuli and start their sightseeing. Because there are many historical and cultural spots, they can choose to ride a bicycle to go around these areas. When they come back to Chikuzenfukai, they can take an electric bus tour to visit scenery in the mountain. Similarly, they can take the train to Shikaka and have a good view of the sea for the second day. They enjoy the ropeway and have a good time at Anagonohama. They can have a lunch at Fukuyoshi and then enjoy the natural view by electric sightseeing car again in the mountain. Afterwards, they can rent a bike and go through the productive antique street in Dainu. Finally, they can come back to Chikuzenfukai and come back either by train or ship. For the design of each site, Kafuli is famous for Japanese-style house. People can feel the architectural culture in Nijo. Ikisan has a good view of farmland and many historical sites. People can either choose to ride a bicycle or take a bus to visit the areas. Then we treat Chikuzenfukai as a transportation hub, so it has a lot of convenient infrastructures that people can use for their daily needs. For the rest 3 areas, we think people can enjoy watching the sea view from the peninsula in Dainu, and they can have a good time in Fukuyoshi, since water-based park will be designed and it is especially suitable for families with children. Shikaka is famous for Anagonohama, so people can go fishing, surfing, and so many other activities related with water in this area. Also, we design basic themes for each of the area. We hope people can relax and enjoy a peaceful life in Kafuli, and enjoy nature in the forest in Ikisan, and enjoy and communicate with each other in Fukai. Then enjoy nature and cultural atmosphere in Dainu, and get close to the water with idyllic spot in Fukuyoshi, and enjoy Anagonohama in a new way in Shikaka area.
So Casby is so. Please next page. So before start to but so we getting the after so star 4. Next page, please. And we especially so point is so building relationships with local residents and landscape setting and maintenance.
最後に今までの内容を日本語で説明したいと思います。カフリ駅からシカカ駅までには山や海などのきれいな景観が不連続に広がっています。よって JR 線の周囲に連続した帯状の風景を作り、電車から見える景観というものを良くしていきたいというふうに考えています。また、駅を中心として電車やバス、自転車といった異なるスピードでの移動手段で風景を楽しめるように、より便利な移動手段というものの提供を考えました。よってコンセプトとして Enjoy 2乗 on the road というふうにしました。以上からコンセプトプランを定めました。筑前深谷を地域の中心地点とし、カフリと一木山を文化を中心とした地域、第二福吉、鹿川を自然を中心とした地域に設定しました。この2つのグループと筑前深谷のつながりを強化するために移動手段を充実させるように考えました。交通手段としては既存のバス、船の路線に加えて、新しくバス、船、自転車の路線の提案をこの図のように行いました。次に地域計画についてです。要点目的に応じてそれぞれ色分けを行っています。赤い地域が史跡保護区域、緑の地域が景観管理区域、黄色の地点が開発調整区域、そして海や山などを自然保護区、そしてオレンジの地域をライフサービス地域というふうに地域計画を行いました。以上で発表終わります。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
コメント、質問などあればお願いします。相谷先生、do you have any comments?
日本語ですか、英語ですか、どっちで言った方がいいですか？
どちらでもいいです。
あ、本当に？
はい、
じゃあ、日本語で。いや、外国人の学生が多いんだったら英語でもいいんですけど、どうしましょうはい。マスタープランチームということで、魅力的な感じでいいと思うんですけど、一応、今、日本は、シュリンキングっていうか、縮小傾向にあるんで、こういうアプローチでいいと思うんですけど、局所的にですね、景気が良くなってくると、乱開発が起きる可能性があるんで、その最後の図面とかに出てた調整区域みたいなところにある程度規制をかけたりとかですね、田園風景を守るために、開発をさせないっていうようなことも盛り込んでおく方がなんとなくいいかなという気がしたんですけど、それ以外は都市的な部分と自然を生かした部分を2つに分けて、その中間になっている筑前深谷の役割っていうのを明確にしているので、面白いいい案になるだろうと思っています。で、その筑前深谷がですね、学研都市前みたいに乱れた開発になると、やっぱり将来的に良くないなと思うんで、それを防ぐような案にも踏み込んでほしいなという気もしました。1週間お疲れ様でした。
相手に先生、若干英語でも簡単にサンマリーだけいただけると助かります。
そうですか。Okay. Yeah, thank you for the hard work. The idea of your master plan was quite convincing, but that idea was based on the current situation of Japan, which is shrinking. The population is decreasing. Also, that the economy is not as strong as like a bubble economy time. However, in the future, probably because of the Kyushu University, also the initiative of the new enterprise, also that the startup companies, probably some economical booming may happen. If that happens, you didn't propose any restrictions or constraints. So you know that the my Kyudai Gakkenmai station, in front of the station, there are awful development out of control in a way. And also that the farmlands are kind of converted to some details and also the factories or something like that. So Chikuzen Fukae, you are kind of arranged as a hub station between the urban area in the east and also that the natural area in the west. So Chikuzen Fukae could be that the kind of target point by the greedy developers in the future, possibly. So I will be more secured or feel more comfortable if you propose some constraints, how to prevent that random development, preserving that harmony with nature. But overall, in a week, you made it really interesting project. Thank you so much. And also, congratulations.
I think we have a few more minutes if you have more comments.
Yeah, thank you for presentation. I just add to Professor Aitani's comment. I thought to set the Chikuzen Fukai Station as a hub is one idea, and it could be positive and possible. And then, but then in that case, we ask JR to make a kind of rapid train to stop there. I mean, that station, you know. So now Chikuzen Fukai Station is one of the many stations. So it doesn't have any difference from other stations, you know, in terms of convenience of access, you know. But then if you say this is a hub, then somehow the train, service will be different, you know. And then if I think about that, then if, as Aitani Sensei said, now Itoshima area is getting more and more popular for tourists, and then if a lot of tourists will come, then we really need to think about how to protect the current situation, the condition. Then in that sense, your proposal to make many different kind of traffic possibilities, bicycle and boat and some other things together is a positive. Not only cars but also other transportation system is included, which is a much more human orientated. Then it is quite reasonable, I think. So yeah, about the if we think about the combination of these two things, train service and then very short distance traffic is quite interesting, I think.
Well, thank you, Professor Hiro. I think that's all the time we have. And thank you very much for wonderful presentation and the comments. And so I'd like to invite the next team, the team to join.
Thank you very much, great team member. And I appreciate Professor and supported TA. It's a very wonderful opportunity and a good experience. Thank you very, very much. And all classmates, so kindness. It's thank you very much.
Thank you. Where is the next team? Team 1. So it's 37.
Okay, and let's start our presentation. And we have designed about Kafri. And first, we analyzed Kafri. Kafri prospered in the water transportation industry as a good boat. Fishing industry has also been prosperous for a long time. And the main traffic line in the Kafri area are the road connecting the station to the port and Route 202. And commercial facilities line the main street and with the residential area behind them and agricultural area to the north and south of them. And to the west is a beautiful coastline. And the area has the advantage of overlooking the ocean, rice field, rivers, and mountains. Wherever you walk in Kafri town, you can see the mountain. And there are also beautiful parks where you can view Mount Kayasam Mountain. It is also easy accessible from the city center. Yeah. Some of the problems in Kafri are that transportation from the station is not convenient, and the main street is not comfortable, and there is not much bustle, and there are few lodging facilities. Based on these factors, the following operations can be performed to improve Kafri. And first, enhance bicycle transportation with Kafri station as a starting point to improve the convenience of the community. Second, improve pedestrian and bicycle comfort by adding canopy and planting to the main street. And three, dot the area with rest spot. This will make it easier to exposure the stores and landscape and that originally existed. And this will also improve the vitality of the community. And new visitor facility will be built along the beautiful coastline to attract more people from outside the area. And the following is a detailed explanation of each of these projects.
And so the idea of the station is that we try to elaborate the connection within the station and the rental bicycle so that it will enhance the user experience and greatly improve the accessibility to the covered area. And also the design of the station attempts to unify the natural elements such as wood to create a dramatic and architecturally impressive gateway, and also it will enhance the user experience and greatly improve the covered area. And also we try to add elevators to the covered station so that the disabled people can enjoy this building. And for the bicycle rental, the shape mesh is originally adapted from the original road, and we decided to make a passage to create the connection between the subway station and the bike rental shop to increase the accessibility by those coming to subway. And also the bicycle rental shop is located near the station, and it is a 2-story lightweight structured building. And the first floor is for the bike rentals and the reception. And meanwhile, the second floor is for the resting areas for the users around the sites. And also ramp is used as the vertical transportation so that the disabled can also enjoy this building.
To address the problem in the cafeteria, we are creating canopy space on the main street. The three main purposes of the in-street canopies are to create shade, to clearly distinguish the flow line for pedestrians, cyclists, and vehicles, and to attract people to the main street. 3 are underutilized waterways on the footpath. Along Main Street, this is blocked off to allow people on bicycle to pass through, and the canopy is erected over it to ensure that the waterways is not completely cut off from the city. The canopy will be drawn into a part of the car park area to create a water-friendly space. This is a layout plan. A canopy and water-friendly space will be built on the left side of the lane from the station to the sea. On the opposite sidewalk, planting will create a pleasant space through the trees. The interaction between local residents and tourists will be created at this location, which will attract people to the main street. This is a floor plan. A canopy and water-friendly space is created in an underutilized car park. The main object is to seamlessly connect the flow of people generated on the main street to coastline. This is a clear section plan. Until now, the footpaths were narrow and there was a risk of traffic accident. By making the footpath up to the top of the irrigation canal, sufficient space for traffic will be created. This makes the line of flow clear and safe for pedestrians, cyclists, and cars. In addition, the shaded space provided by canopy and planting allows pedestrians and cyclists to pass comfortably.
Yes, when I analyzed the characteristic statue of the village, I thought that the strength of the village was not in the natural scene or tourism factor, but creating the elegant and peaceful atmosphere of Japan village. Next page. The following diagram selects point. Before the page. Yes, the following diagram selects point that are recognized as place where people gather inside the village. That the main street and the bicycle route overlap the point, and it is selected as route that is not burden to mix with the villagers. Next page. The intention of the dividing the bicycle route was not to select and plan a route that could show the elegant advantages of the village to travelers. The architectural elements that makes you feel the quiet and the elegant atmosphere of the village was the first thought to be the layout of the house, which is not too dense on a flat surface. The village was analyzed as diagramming the statue of the flat landscape element. on the right and the left. Next page. I tried to find the rhythm based on the analysis of the ratio of the architectural element that makes up the bridge. Next page. We try to find this is not only in the elements of the flat layout, but also in the architectural elements of the facade and the roof that form the village landscape. The shape of the roof forms the direct landscape, and it is also related to the difference in the degree of the reflection of the nature behind the roof, depending on the shape of the roof. Next page. This was analyzed as a diagram of the plan, the elevation rhythm of each building group, as well as the ways in which shape project nature. Next page. In the selected site, the branch of the village tried to contain the architectural concept of the concept, and if next page. If an actual person will use it, the standard of the column height was determined in considering of the minimum required height. Next page. It was intended to contain the atmosphere and image of the village created by flat rhythm and the elevational rhythm as a concept in the bus stop, in the bicycle stop. Next. Finally, in order to capture the concept of the projecting material in the form of the global form of the roof was adjusted to contain sunlight and visually capture the nature of the mountain in the background. Next page. Design through this process. And next page. A bicycle stop was planted. Thank you.
In the coastal area connected to Main Street, we have planned building for the current Kafuri port and the vacant land along the coastline. A symbolic building was planned for the port to become a new tourist attraction. The large roof will create a sense of unity while incorporating the existing oyster hut, seafood restaurant, and a new store and bicycle port. We also designed the area in front of and around the restaurant to be like a park, a place where residents can casually visit. We imagine that many people will visit the area in the evening to watch a beautiful sunset. On the south side of beach in Kafuri, we plan to build a facility that will serve as a base for bicycle users. This facility will house a hotel, which is not often found in the surrounding area. Bicyclists and pedestrians will be able to enter this building without interference. The building will be accessible to bicyclists and pedestrians and will offer a beautiful sunset view. Finally, let me explain about Kasui. In the planning of Kafuri, we actively improved traffic by introducing bicycles, determined canopy placement based on wind analysis, created greening and water-friendly spaces, created shade, and introduced renewable energy. Based on these plans, Kasui's results were rated A. We believe that these plans will help create a sustainable Kafuri. はい、では、日本語でざっと説明したいと思います。まず、カフリを分析したところ、問題点として、駅から地域内の交通の便が悪いことや、メインストリートが、あまり歩行者や自転車にとって快適ではない、また地域全体に賑わいが少ない、宿泊施設や集客施設が少ないといったことが、分析の中で上がってきたので、それぞれに対してアプローチをしていくことで、この地域をもっとより良くしていこうという流れで設計をしていきました。主にはこのコーストサイドとステーション、メインストリートとレスティングスポットっていう4つの要素に分けて、アプローチをしていきました。で、ステーションはまず、このカフリ駅を、自転車交通の出発点としてレンタルサイクルショップを連結させて、都心とかから出てきた人たちがここで自転車を借りて、地域に広がっていって交通の便を良くしていくために、駅にこのような施設を設けました。で、形はこのような感じで、既存の、陸橋から直接レンタルサイクルショップに接続するような形になっています。で、続いて、メインストリートが歩行者や自転車にとって快適ではないということなので、メインストリート沿い、主に202号線沿いに、沿っている用水路の上を活用して歩道を拡幅して、その上にキャノピーを設けたり、キャノピーが作れないところには植栽を拡充させていくことで、駅から港までのこのメインストリートを魅力的なところにしていくようにしました。で、続いて、地域一帯に眺めがいいところだったり、飲食店、ショップなどが点在しているので、その近くに休憩所や自転車置き場などを設計して、地域一帯を自転車で散策できるように整備をしていく計画をしました。で、これは一例ですが、このように道沿いの屋根の形状とかを模して休憩所を設計しています。で、コーストサイドが、コーストサイドには、かき小屋とか生鮮料理屋などが既存にあるので、大屋根をかけて、それらを入れて新しく観光拠点となるような場所を作りました。で、近くに大きな空き地が海沿いにあるので、そこを活用して宿泊施設を作って、観光客が泊まれるようにしました。で、海岸線沿いを一体としてサイクリングロードとして使えるように自転車交通への配慮もしています。それらの操作によって、キャスビーが、A まで上がりました。グループ1からの発表は終わります。ご清聴ありがとうございました。Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. So it's time for comments and questions. Aitan Sensei, do you have your comments? I'll give you time for you.
はいはい。まずですね、4つの場所に区切ってですね、駅とメインストリートの中には、浸水空間と休める場所、そして水際のところには、宿泊施設などというふうに、4つに分けているのは、分かりやすくていいなと思いました。で、自転車を促進させるっていうか、プロモーションさせるっていうのはいいんですけど、自転車置き場のあり方が若干時代に合ってないのかなっていう気がしながら見てました。っていうのは、今、携帯で自転車を借りれるシステムっていうのが、世界中に流行ってきてるんで、携帯さえあればですね、自転車を借りれるシステムをアプリで登録して、どこでも借りれて、どこでも乗り捨てれるっていうようなのがトレンドになってると思うんで、この場所に行かないと借りられないっていうのでは、なんとなく行動が制限されるのかなという印象を受けながら聞いてました。で、あとは場所なんですけど、駅がですね、 広場とかもあるんで、面白いかなとは思ったんですけど、実際の例だったら、同じような田舎で、隈研吾さんが設計したですね、宝石寺とチョックラ広場っていうのがあって、知ってますかね？地元の石とかを使って、やってるんですけど、そういうのも参考にしたらいいかなと感じました。あとは、キャノピーなんですけど、長方形で屋根をくり抜いてるのが、実際の例だったら、藤本壮介さんがやってる大分の家とかですね、石上純也さんがやってる海斗工房の隣の海斗広場とかあるんで、そういうのも少し参考にして、日陰の部分と、太陽が当たる部分とのなんかバランスとか、場所に合った形みたいなものをもう少し詰めると、なお魅力が出るのかなと思いました。で、実際自転車で動き回るにしては、あまり自転車を走れそうな感じがしないっていうのが、印象で思ったので、自転車を快適に動けるようなルートをもう少し詰めた方がいいかなと感じました。っていう感じですかね。で、一応英語で言うと、the idea you are making four places, station, main streets, and the main street was some hub area for the resting area and also coastal side. But your bicycle renting style was a little bit old-fashioned. Nowadays, bicycle rental is controlled by the smartphone and the app. So that is related to the or connected to the GPS systems. You can pick up the bicycle anywhere you like, and also you can drop off anywhere you like. So you centralize that the pickup place and the returning place may restrict the freedom of the visitors. So maybe that you can think about more. And the places such as stations, maybe you should take a look at the Hoshakuji station and the Chokura Hiroba. I don't know how to say English. Chokura is maybe little storage plaza by Kengo Kuma. And also the resting places, you have a huge roof with that cutted void. You can take a look at the Kite Plaza by the Junya Ishigami. Also that the Oita's residence by the So Fujimoto. In those cases, they provide that the place by the open cuts where that the sunlight can cast, also shadow can be casted. So not only visual, you should think about some functions. And overall, you are promoting both bicycle and pedestrians. However, your space was convenient for the pedestrian, but I wasn't convinced how comfortable you ride a bicycle. So that should be examined and proposed more carefully. That was my comment. But overall, it was a very clear idea, so very impressive. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. Any other comments? Maybe we have time for one more comment or question.
Okay, and then I make just one comment, which is about this bicycle shed. Okay, I mean the idea of making bicycle network is quite reasonable, I thought. Then in that case, as Aikani Sensei said, recently we use Chari Chari in Fukuoka, so it's very convenient and very common. Such system is very common worldwide. And in that case, recently they also introduced electrical assisted bicycle, which is very convenient, especially for elderly and weak people. So why don't you put PV on top of the roof, in that case, and then, you can get electricity from the roof. So I think the roof should be designed for such kind of, efficiency. Electrical efficiency for PV is very important. Then the other thing is the idea of proposing this water stream for kind of a public kind of facility is quite attractive. But if you do that, then it is very important to think about the reflection of the water. The water is very attractive, but if you can use the reflection, of the water to the ceiling of this, canopy, that will be more attractive. So that is my comment.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much for everyone. So that's all the time.
Oh, yeah, Prasanna.
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Seihiro. That reminds me my recent experience in London and Rome. Both cities, they have electric bicycles. They are a little bit scary because they accelerate, but the mobility is really improved. Itoshima area, you have quite mountain hilly areas. The electric assisted bicycle or even scooters are really, really helpful. So maybe this area, as well as Shikuzen Fukae, you can rent a bicycle and move around the coastal area by the electric assisted bike will be really helpful. So I think I really strongly agree with Professor Seihiro's comment.
All right. Thank you. And thank you very much, Group 1. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation and everything. So I'd like to invite Group 2 and present their work.
Good afternoon, everyone. I start the presentation. Ikesan has a series of residential area on the north and south side of the station, and the sea in the northwest and the countryside in the west. We considered the problems and potential of Ikesan. Firstly, Ikesan is currently facing an aging problem. Many of the elderly live in one or two person household, and interacting with others and support elderly people is very important issue. On the other hand, Ikesan has many attractive natural and cultural things, and we think this is a great potential of this area. For example, the scenery of the Chikuhi line passing through the vast rural landscape, the view of the beautiful sea and the coastline toward Karatsu, and the many historical landscapes centered on the Kabashima Keijutaku and Choshizuka Kofun, which are also cultural assets. Therefore, our strategy is to develop a bus network for the residents of the town, and at the same town develop a bicycle network for tourists to visit attractive spots. In addition, local residents and tourists can interact with each other by placing small and medium-sized facilities that function as a bus stop and bicycle rest areas throughout the town. In addition, we will actively carry out renovations for the sustainable development of the town and the inheritance of the memory and culture of the town.
I'm going to talk about a story who tourists visit this site. Tourists arriving at the station are first attracted by the cherry blossoms in the full bloom inside the station. Every spring, cherry blossoms bloom beautifully here. From the station, there is a bicycle parking area where you can tour around the Ikisan area. Use it to get out into the countryside. You will pedal bicycles while enjoying the rich and expanded countryside that changes with the seasons. As you pedal, you will reach the seaside. The closeness to the sea is one of the charms of Ikisan area. There is a bicycle parking lot at the seaside where you can take a rest. After having fun at the beach, let's go back home. Ikisan area is waiting for you. We make a rule for our design. In the architecture we propose, we will inherit important architecture and culture of the region by using architectural elements extracted from the Kabashima-ke residence, which is a cultural property that the village is proud of. Site 1 is station area. Next, please. This is our site plan for the station. There is renovated Ikisan station and new community center and cherry blossom landscape. Next, please. Currently, there are stations, toilets, and bicycle parking space for residents. The characteristics of Ikisan station are not rebuilt, and local characteristics and programs that can accept tourists are not rebuilt. Next. So this is the strategy of sustainable design. The current Ikisan station and toilet were maintained, and the platform and rest area were expanded. The concept of design was the follow Japanese house. First, was that embraces nature and shows the scenery. Second, Japanese style roof. Third, column structure and tatami ratio. Fourth, interior of the Japanese house. Next, please. This is the station floor plan. There is existing toilet station and expanded platform and rest space. The platform has a roof over it to suit a frequent rainy Japanese climate. As soon as tourists get off the train, they can greet the Japanese-style architecture with the scenery of Ikisan. The rest area resembles a Japanese-style hallway glass sliding door on the platform and facing outside, and the wall toward the entrance of Ikisan station is the interior design of the Japanese old house. They can see the scenery of cherry blossom in spring while experiencing Japanese architecture culture. Next.
This is a community center across from the station, and the main functions are activity room and restroom. The building guide design ideas from vernacular elements and in a form which can feel the change of environment easily and get good view for the field scenery. At the same time, this building keeps the view for residents living around the center. Next page, please.
Cherry blossom road landscape planning. Because the most common thing in Japan is cherry blossom, we set up a cherry blossom road next to the station, so that tourists who take the bus can see the beauty cherry blossom road. Although cherry blossom only blossom in spring, they can also attract more tourists to come here, and cherry blossom can achieve the function of beauty and noise reduction, part of the landscape for climate change and the road environment. To choose the right plant, not only adapts but also improve the environment.
The next site is agriculture area. The distinctive feature of the Ikisan is that it has a large field in the center and a village around it. The blue line is for bicycle and the green line is for bus we planned. Next is how to sustainable renovation. The first is Vista Axis shaft back and forth was created to improve the closed elevation. The second is Kwagari was planned so that activities could take place while appreciating the scenery outside at various levels using the high warehouse floor. The gray tone photo is the original warehouse, the center of the rice field, and the under picture is after renovation. The renovated building's name is Ikisanpo. The old farm machinery warehouse in the center of the rice field was renovated. The name of the building is Ikisanpo. It is a place where you can meet Ikisan's countryside while taking a walk. Ikisanpo is a branding store where you can experience crafts and specialties of Ikisan.
We plan a facility that connects resident to resident.
We also propose a bus network that following a master plan team.
We plan a facility that connects resident to resident and resident to visitor. Its facility is planned with a bus stop as this design. It's also inspired by old Japanese house and nature of Ikisan. The design is varied, but they can be also the bus stop, bicycle parking lots, and community facility. It's the bus stop located 1 minute away from the Ikisan station. Local craft space and guide space is in there. Craft space can link local agriculture product to make some goods or some food. It's become a community and a hobby for elderly residents. Also, residents can communicate it with visitors by teaching them how to make local goods. Crafts are mainly preferred by women, so we divide the guide community that usually attended by men. They manage the village and can be village guide when visitors come. The next bus stop is a small library. People can enjoy the agricultural scenery while reading a book. It's located at intersection of the coastline area and agriculture area and bicycle and bus line. Here, people can change the transportation or rest for other costs. And we considering the increase in traffic, we mainly place commercial facility like bike rental shop and farmer shop that sells the local agriculture products.
Site 3 is a building that used to be a seafood restaurant located in middle of the coast side of Ikisan. Our proposal is to open the first floor of this building to the city as a cafe with a rest area and bicycle maintenance shop and so on. Cyclists and local residents can drop by and interact with each other. Also revive the restaurant on the second floor by its scale down. In designing this building, we maximized the potential of the coastline. The current coastline has a national highway running all over the building, and people can't go to the beach safely. As a result, there are no people in the beach now. By developing the safe route to the beach, we will use this building and the beach together. This is the floor plan. By opening half the ground floor to the community, we will draw pedestrians and cyclists into the building as well as cars. We believe that this will bring back customers to the restaurant on the second floor. Finally, CASB evaluation. Current CASB score is 2 star to 2 star, and we can see that especially with score of regional service performance in this site was low, and contribution to the local community was on the average. The below one is CASB's assessment result after planning. Our plan has improved this site's rank from B to A.
と最後に日本語で簡単に要約すると、まず、イキさんは大きく分類すると、田園地域と居住地域に分かれます。で、現地見学と取材によって、イキさんの問題点として、高齢化が、他の地域より進んでいるのと、その高齢者の単身世帯と夫婦の世帯の割合が高いことから、コミュニティが生まれる空間がこの場に適するのではないかと考えました。また、イキさんが持つポテンシャルとして、雄大な田園風景だったり、海岸線の景色だったり、あと、樺島系住宅、文化財や神社など歴史的な要素も点在しています。で、そこで、自分たちのチームの計画としては、そのバスと自転車のネットワークをこのイキさんに形成し、そのネットワーク上に小さなスケールの諸機能を持つ施設を点在させることで、地元のコミュニティの場だったり観光を盛り上げる場と、またその交流地点を計画します。で、またサステナブルの観点として景観や歴史の保護も考慮しました。もういいか。自分たちのグループのデザインの根拠としては、このイキさんに存在するその文化財の要素を抽出し、そこからデザインの根拠としました。で、駅の現在の状況は、特にそのイキさんの特徴が反映されているわけでもない状況です。で、そこで、この現在ある駅舎とそのトイレを残して、さらにそこに休憩スペースだったり、景色を取り込むボイドなどを加え、日本的な屋根や寸法を用いてリノベーションしました。で、こちらは、線路反対側にあるコミュニティ施設も同様に設計しました。
田園地域のリノベーションに関しては、既存にある老朽化した倉庫があり、そこを農業の直売所や農業体験ができる施設へとリノベーションします。で、全体のストーリーをつなぐルートを計画し、それぞれの、拠点にライブラリだったり、さまざまな機能を持つバス停を、点在させることで魅力的な街巡りを促します。海の地域は、既存にある、廃墟、元はレストランだった廃墟をリノベーションし、そこをコミュニティの施設と、またその同様の海が見えるレストランとして復活させます。以上で終わります。
Thank you very much. Now it's time for comments and questions. Aitan Sensei, we'll start with you.
はい、コンセプトのレベルでは、非常に面白いと思うんですけど、実際に建築を提案しているときに、日本の古民家から発想を得ているという割には、あんまり古民家って日本のデザインが生かされてないような印象を受けるんですけど、どうですかね。屋根の勾配であったりとか、軒の出とかが全然ないですよね。なんで、表面的な材料だけを使ってるだけで、日本の家屋とか伝統的に培われてきた、要素っていうのの再解釈が若干足りないような印象を受けました。あとはですね、桜並木も提案してるんですけど、桜並木をどうするのかなっていうのが疑問ですね。なんか通る道沿いにあるわけでもないし、駅の横になんとなく寂しく桜の並木がある感じなので、人が通るところに誘導してきた方が活性化にもつながるし、それを見る場所もあるのかなっていう印象ですね。あとはですね、リノベーションしている建物っていうのは、寸法的に大丈夫そうなんですけど、バス停とですね、図書館とかいろいろな事務所スペースみたいなのを作ってるのが、寸法的に入らないんじゃないかなっていう感じを受けました。なので、机の大きさとか、廊下のスペースのとかをですね、もう一回ちょっとチェックした方がいいですね。普通の人間の寸法だとちょっと窮屈すぎるんじゃないかなという感じがしました。幼稚園とかだったらいいかもしれないですけど、それをもう一回確認してくださいというのが私の感想ですね。For conceptual level, also that the urban design level, the idea is delivered well. But when you go into the architecture design, I wasn't convinced by the scale as also the function, particularly the bus station and some small pavilions you are proposing for the libraries or office spaces. The furniture in relation to the actual dimensions, I think it is too tight. I'd like to ask you to check the dimension again, because if you are thinking about the normal people's dimensions, the scale was for the kids or small persons. So yeah, please make sure that. And also you mentioned the design elements from the traditional Japanese houses. However, actual usage of those elements was very superficial. The slope of the roof wasn't convincing. Also that you mentioned the sliding doors, but I didn't see any sliding doors. Also the eaves you know that the Japanese houses, eaves casting the shadows or protecting the people from the rainfalls are quite essential. But you don't have such an overhang of the roof in relation to the exterior walls. So I'm not super convinced, but yeah, it was such a short time, so maybe you didn't have a time. But the overall idea is quite interesting and strong. So when you move into the architecture developments, you might need to step a little bit back and they see what is really a Japanese architecture. That's my comment, but thank you so much for your hard work.
All right. We spent quite a lot of time, but if there's one more comment, maybe we can.
よろしいですか。すいません。
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. And so there was a lot of comment to learn as well as reflect upon your work. Anyway, thank you very much. So let me invite our next group, that is group 3, to present their work.
Hello everyone, we are group 3 and our area is Chikuzen Fukai. And here is our team members and our title is Attract and Enjoy the Stay. So our presentation have 5 parts. The first one is about the site, the second is proposal, and the 2 strategy. Finally, we have the Gatsby analyze. First one, the site about Fukai. We do a research about Fukai area, which is very close to the Fukuoka city, which one of the biggest city in Asia. You only need to take 1 hour to get Fukai area from Fukuoka airport. So it's very convenient location. It's also a potential. And we do the research about land use in Fukai area. We can see almost land use is for farm and residence. The purple one is housing. And we also found that it may lack some commercial place or public space in this area, and we will improve it later. It's a traffic system now, and it's also not very convenient now, but we will improve it in our planning. And we do the research about the potential places in the Fukai. We have natural resources like oyster hunt, and beach and hot spring, and we also have some local cultural places like temple and Fukai shrine. We have some facilities for communities like station, primary school, and playground. We will use this place efficiently in our planning. And here is our proposal. We found 2 biggest problems in Fukai area. One is that we only have tourists in summer and the population is declining. And we have lots of possibilities in Fukai area. We have lots of nature resources and cultural resources, and we got a great location. According to the problems that tourists only in summer, we made a strategy named Attract. And according to the problem about population declining, we made a strategy about enjoying the stay. It's more like we attract tourists to come to the Hukai and we will create more jobs. Then young people will come back and live in the Hukai. And in coursing to make it come true, we will improve the life quality in Hukai about the community core, and we will use tourist core to attract tourists. So we will put different functions in this two area. We will use like public space and active areas in tourist core, and we will use shopping center and open space in community core. We want the attract strategy come true in 10 years and maybe enjoy the stay. This strategy may come true in 10 years later. So it's a picture about strategy 1. We will build a community core here and we will provide information about Hukai interesting place to tourists to guide them to the interesting place in Hukai. For example, we have oyster hunts here. Personally, I love oyster. So if we can provide information here, maybe tourists can come to here. We will use this strategy to activate the whole area. And after the Hukai area is being activated, we may create more jobs in the future and people will come back and live in this area. By doing this, we will improve people's quality life by building a community core here. We will create some public space or other things to make the life more convenient. And it's our summary of strategy. We have a community core here and tourism core here. We provide different function and space. We will do more specific presentation later. And this is the first strategy. We make a new traffic system. We will use bike to link the other area like Dainyu or Ikisan. We also make some bus routes to link the interesting parts in this area like oyster hunt. And we make the event whole year to keep Hukai attractive the whole year. We have different events about different seasons. Now we only have, the situation now is people only come in summer, but we want to keep it attractive the whole year. For example, in summer, we have some firework events or beach events on the beach. And in the winter, we have oyster hunt and we have hot spring here. It also can attract tourists. And in winter or autumn, we have some cultural festival or you can climb the mountain. And we also made some movie events and art festival in this area because we already have some art center here and we will use it more efficiently. And we also do the design about parts like seaside. We put some function and we put some infrastructures in this place. We use like camping area, sports area, and cycle area. And we also provide view areas to see the beautiful sunset and sunrise. It's very beautiful. And we do the more specific design about coastal line. And here is the the future that we want image about this section. And we also did some perspective pictures about this area, like camping area, cycling area, and the movie events that I talked about earlier. And according to the master plan group, we need to improve the landscape alongside the trailway. So we want to improve the landscape by doing 3 things. The first one, we will make a mini park around the station. And the second one, we will renew the old station of Hukai. Now it is abandoned, but we want to use it as a, for example, old station museum in the future. And we also want to use the farmland as a beautiful landscape in the future. And this is the image that we want about the trailway landscape. And we also did a mini park. Here is a strategy of stay.
Nothing. Maybe Stop and go again. So we go to the next part. Enjoy the stay in Fukaye. Firstly, we can see in the map that the area is mainly residential with an elementary school near to Fukaye Temple and the central available space between the station and Fukaye Temple. We can notice that there are no entertainment spaces, neither for tourists or for residents, and no shopping areas, no public spaces, and no facilities in front of the beach. Therefore, the central core shows a great potential, according to which we decided our program, which is mainly dedicated for shopping, eating, resting, meeting, and eventual exhibitions. So at the image of the Tori, we decided to opt for signalétic elements visually connected. We wanted our project to expand from the site to the whole area of Fukaye City through simple attractive elements acting as connecting dots between different spots of our area. For instance, marking the road of the sea by gates to guide visitors towards the seaside. So we wanted the entrance to our core to be free. So we have the main entrance in the main road, but also we can enter from different. We have different accessibilities, and we put like our three important functions, and we try to maintain as much as possible the green area with free circulation inside. So here mainly the functional dispatching of the spaces where we can see the core, the Fukaye community and local community. Since the Mediatek, we have the Mediatek is more for students in the school nearby. The central area will be for everyone, and we have the souvenir shop, which is mainly for tourists. So here is the dispatching of our areas. So we have the open space in the middle, and we have the Mediatek near to the road facing the elementary school, and the Michino Eki, which is shop for souvenirs and local products of the area. And we predict also a bike station near to the main road. Here we will explain more the functions of every space we have.
This is a general perspective view of the project where we can see the different volumes. The volumes are kept row from Michino Eki, the east side, toward to Mediatek on west side, and it corresponds to the landscape to Fukaye no Hama. The structure of building inspired Torii of Fukaye Shrine and uses a series of 5-meter span. This structure material is curtain steel, matched to Fisherman City, which can also make various spaces in with garbages from oyster hut. For example, oyster shell and net, float or rope or thread. This is Michino Eki. The structure continues and smoothly connected from the pedestrian road to Michino Eki and the open space at the back. From observatory of Michino Eki, this can enjoy the sea view over the pine trees. This structure is also icon of Fukaye. This is bike station. This area is community core of Fukaye and also the transportation hub, the main entrance of the public space where you can find near to the bikes, parking bikes rental point. This is public space. You can use its flexibility according to local events and seasons. Central structure partly covered is common public space where people can rest and interact with each other. Melanie, please.
So I'll speak about Gatsby. Next slide, please. As you can see, we could improve our score from -B to A. The main three aspects we could improve were contribution to the local community, load reduction of environmental impact, and social infrastructure. Then for this project, we tried not to interfere so much with the natural environment. So first of all, we considered the wind direction and shade to create a harmonized space. Overall, this project invites to prefer walking over other transportation means, but there are proper parking lots for cars and bicycles. Then we use a recycled crash oyster shell as a path for pedestrians, but also works as fire breaker. Thanks to the white green area, there is natural rainwater percolation. Also, we included green walls to reduce air temperature. For the structure, we use curtain steel because it does not require painting, and its natural rusty color is a protective layer, which increases its resistance against atmospheric corrosion. Besides, the design has a uniform square shape, so it will generate less waste during the construction process. Finally, we propose to use recycled items from oyster farming to create this space in the Michinoeki building. Thank you.
それでは日本語で、説明したいと思います。私たちのグループは深江が敷地でした。深江は福岡市から約30キロの公共交通機関で1時間程度のところに位置しており、このアクセスの良さが深江の可能性だと考えています。敷地調査によって深江の魅力を発見したんですけど、一番の資源となるのはやはり海岸エリアではないかと考えており、これらの観光資源を活用すれば、より多くの観光客を呼び込むことができるのではないかと考えています。次に提案です。海岸エリアをツーリストコアとし、深江駅からツーリストコアの間に位置する大きな空地を今回の計画敷地としてコミュニティコアとして計画しました。まず海岸エリアのデザインについて、現在夏の観光客しかいないことから年間を通したイベントを計画し、海岸エリアをこのように魅力的に計画いたしました。次に、計画敷地であるコミュニティコアの設計についてです。深江駅から海岸エリアまでの間に位置するこのコミュニティコアとして計画する場所ですが、商業の機能としては海岸エリアに商業の機能が入っているので、今回このエリアには観光客と地元のローカルの人がどちらも使えるようなコミュニティのコアとなるようなスペースを計画しました。東側に位置する敷地の東側は筑前深駅からの側に位置しているので、観光客向けのスペースとし、西側は小学校からアクセスが小学校に面しているので、ローカルに向けたコミュニティのスペースとし、その間となる場所をそれらが融合するような場所として計画します。機能としては、ツアリスト側のエリアには道の駅であったり、バイクステーションを配置しており、ローカルに向けた方にはメディアテイクやシビックホールを計画し、その間の場所はオープンスペースとしてフレキシブルな使い方ができる場所としました。建物配置はこのような形で配置を考えています。建築の作り方としては、ここが糸島が牡蠣小屋であったり、漁業の町であるということから、漁業に馴染みのあるコール天候、耐候性の強いコール天候を用いたフレームストラクチャーとし、そこに牡蠣小屋で今問題となっているようないろんな廃棄物っていうのを、再利用してフレーム、コール天候で作ったフレームに、廃棄物のネットであったり、ロープであったり、そのようなものをうまく転用して、フレキシブルなスペースの使い方をしていきたいと思っています。こちらが、道の駅、東側の道からアクセスした時のビューになっています。 こちらが、バイクステーションですね。観光客が自転車をここで止めて、パブリック、公衆トイレであったりが配置しています。これが、展望台で、先ほどの、道の駅の屋上に展望台を用意していて、海岸線までが見渡せるようなビューを計画しています。これはオープンスペースで、フレームのみを用意して、あとは、自由に観光客であったり、廊下の人が集えるような場所を計画しています。最後に、キャスビについては、以前がマイナス B であったのに対して、私たちが提案するものは A ランクとなっており、キャスビの評価も高いものとなるのではないかと考えています。以上で発表終わります。ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. So, Adan Sensei, we are waiting for your comments.
はい。積極的な案をありがとうございます。今までのグループと比べて、商業施設であったりとか、個人経営者による街づくりみたいな、マイクロアーバニズムっぽい提案が多かったような印象を受けたんですけど、チームのメンバーって日本人と外国人の割合ってどのくらいなんでしたっけ、このチームは。
日本人が2名で、外国人が6名。
はい。外人軍団、外人チーム。谷尻さんのレクチャーって全員聞いたんですかね。
はい、聞いてます。
感想が聞きたいんですけど、っていうのが、谷尻さんのレクチャーで非常に興味深かったのは、ペイしないと成り立たないっていう話でしたよね。で、今回提案している案っていうのは、行政よりもむしろ個人とか民間が出てくる可能性が高いような開発が多かったと思うんですけど、それを実現して維持していくためには、何らかの形で利益を生まないとダメですよね。それに関してどういうイメージを持っているのか、クオリティオブライフのインプルーブメントっていうようなことも言ってたと思うんで、自然を生かして、何もないことに魅力を感じるっていうよりは、何もないところに何か付加価値をつけるようなものを作ることで、この街のポテンシャルを高めていくっていうようなのが大きなテーマだったと思うんで、その辺の経済的な循環みたいなことに関してどういうふうに考えているのかなっていうのをもう少し深く聞きたいなと思った感じですね。For the foreign students, I heard you have attended the lecture by the Makoto Taniji. He really talked about that a lot of startup development. However, in order to maintain those businesses, you need to provide or successfully maintain that the profit to keep those new businesses running. So I'm curious, what was your impression or response by the Tanijiri's lecture, and how you reflect his lecture ideas into your development? Because compared to other groups, your projects are very private driven development, not by the government, like streets, but you have a lot of commercial spaces to activate, also that to uplifting the potential of the area. You are not satisfied by that just nature. You like to add something to enhance the nature, to attract more people. Your keyword was attractions, or attract like above, to bring the people and to make them to stay as a result of their satisfaction of those areas. So in order to successfully achieve that, I think somehow some profitability is essential. So I was really curious. But overall, your proposal was really, really good. So I was very impressed. Thank you.
そうですね。海岸エリアは現状で非常にポテンシャルが高いと思っていて、町、行政の協力、行政、そうですね、この観光資源をより魅力的に発信していくことで、さらに商業的というか観光的な価値が増大するんじゃないかと思っているので、今回の計画では、この海岸エリアのポテンシャルをより引き出すことで、
いや、予期せぬ質問が来てしまって、戸惑ってるのかもしれないけど、その辺ちょっともう少し考えてると、より良くなるかなというふうに思いました。はい。
最初の時はコミュニティゾーンはそんなに商業の施設じゃない、住民たちの利便の施設、コンビニのようなことが欲しい。今はみんなが、この地域の住民たちは自動車で都市の中で買い物して、これはちょうど不便です。駅があれば、このようなコミュニティゾーンが形成すれば、このような場所に生活利便の生活必要なものを買いできれば、もっと便利になる。僕のチームはそんな考えがあります。特に商業の施設じゃない、ただの住民たちの生活の利便施設。はい、
でも利便施設っていうのは、近くに商業施設、大きいのが来ると、それに負けてしまって倒産していって潰れていくっていうのが今の現状ですよね、日本の。特に地方都市の。そうならないために何かアイディアがあるのかなっていうのが、興味があったところですけど。身近に小さな商業小売店があるっていうのは魅力的なんですけど、それが継続できないっていうのが現状ですよね。大きなものがあったり、大きな商業施設があったり、アマゾンとかのね、そのオンラインでデリバリーされてくるようになって、小売店っていうのが存在できないような状況になってるんで、それに対してアイデアを持たないと結局は作っても倒産してしまってなくなってしまうっていうのがあるんで、その辺の深入りしたプロポーザルにも期待したい部分はありますよね。
はい、ありがとうございます。いいんじゃない？ちょっと。
今答えなくても考えておいてください。
富士山に。
なんか後であれするかなと思ったんですけど、コミュニティコアっていう考え方はすごく面白いっていうか、ないからね、今。ないので、これはもう全部の駅にあるっていうか必要かなっていうのと、ここのエリアをセレクトしたのがすごいと思った。確かにあそこ空いてて、小学校と駅をつなぐ、あそこがいい場所だよね。すごいとこ見つけたなと思いました。
今この場所は空き地として、そして駅も近くに、小学校も近くに、周辺もすべて住宅地として、今は全然利用しない状態だから。
そうですよね。なんか多分なんかね、果樹園みたいになってたとこと空き家とが多分なくなって空き地になったんだろうなって。横にね、お醤油屋さんがあるんだよね。そこがいい醤油屋なんですよ。そこはもう結構コアのあれになると思いますよ。聞いてなんとになるかなって気がする。全国区の醤油作ってるところなんで。はい。みつる醤油という。もうなんか大手町のバーでも出すような。本当ですよ。すごい。
ありがとうございます。
すいません。いやいや、ありがとうございます。いやいや、あとね、富士山にね、一個コメント欲しかったのは、なんかリサイクル、なんかマテリアル使うぞ的な話があったんだけど、どうっすかって。
いや、それも本当にすごい面白い。かき小屋をどう扱うかとか、柿とかもそうですけど、その地域の出している、ものをどう使っていくのかっていうのはすごく重要だなっていうのと、ここでまだ話してなかったけど、地引き網がすごく深井海岸は有名だっていうかできるんですよね。地引き網ってすごい魚がいっぱい取れるんですよ。網バーってやって。で、その網っていうのがね、なかなかあんまり注目してなかったんですけど、そういうのもうまく使えば面白いのかなって思いました。ただこの一つのユニットがすごいスケール感がよく分かんなくて、さっきの絵だと一つのユニットが3層4層ぐらいの大きさがあったようなイメージもあったし、これね、海は見えないかなと思って見てました。すいません。はい。
このスケールとしては今5メートルグリッドで高ですね。なので展望台は18メートルぐらいの高さなんじゃないか。あ、違うわ。ごめん。スケール。
Thank you very much. That was great. And thank you for great presentation as well as the journey, the conversation. All right, see you again. Thank you so much. So we would like to invite our next team, the group 4.
So Danyu is an agricultural and fishing village with a population of more than 600 people, with a fishing port in the eastern part of the district and a cultivated land on the south side across the GR-Shikuhi line. It is surrounded by mountains from the south and the sea and the forest from the northern part. Danyu is a small town with full of rich sceneries in different places. By being interested in the roads, we could notice the importance of the main road that our bus took to discover the site. Then we found a potential on the periphery along the sea. We can observe that it is possible to experience east and west side of the area by existing road. However, we see that the road cuts on the north side of the area when it meets the forest. Therefore, our primary strategy is to create a continuous path to discover different sites from a promenade along the seashore and inside the existing forest on the north. Then we did a population analysis, and it allowed us to have a better idea of who is concerned by this project. Therefore, we can see that Danyu population is mainly composed of elderly people. So our secondary strategy focused more on the inhabitants by creating a main road inside the city that goes from the city to the field. And we called it productive and antique roads since it will link urban and agricultural land, but also it will have some event to sell a vintage object, something that we will develop later. Around this project, we pointed out major places that we want to link in this work. We have 3 focus areas. First, the multi-generational area that will group the Sunset Campsite and the Elderly House. A second, portual area in link with the port and the local restaurant. And a third that will be the new gate to the city. It will host the new station that we relocate at the junction between the antique road and the train rail. And the old station will be kept as an art gallery. According to the master plan team, we created 2 possible bike roads, one in the city and one along the main road. We did some sketches to express our overall concept design. We wanted to have steel grid that we have a light impact on the environment, expand the campsite and create seating along the river bank. We will develop the portal area, the pier, and still have a light path of steel in the forest. Observatory to see the fauna and flora, path in the rocks for the promenade, and resting point on the actual promenade on the western part. And inside the city, a square near the new station, new pavement for the main road, and some shade for this path, like this in the Elderly House.
In the part of the landscape, the range is from the interior to the market. Our purpose is to increase the green cover and achieve the minimal ecological damage. Next page. And we use the seasonal variability of plant to create the different landscape in different seasons. Next page.
We will have some punctual intervention in this urban landscape, coast landscape, and agricultural landscape by installing temporary structure to punctuate the walker routes. And along the protective antique road, 3 permanent buildings will take place. The renovation of a vacant house that will transform in a multi-generational house, the relocation of the old station, and the creation of a local market.
There are especially many elderly people in this area. This empty space was an unused space and decided to use it as a program for residents and tourists. The frame of the existing building was preserved and the exterior was renovated. Through the rooftop, the garden was created and grass was planted in the front yard to add natural elements. Tourists can use it as a guest house, and senior citizens living in the village can use it as a resting place. At the rest area, they can healing, reading some books, or talking something like act. Our site has a lot of mountains up there. The building was designed using wood and bamboo, which are good eco-friendly materials available in the mountains. This can reduce the sun's heat and reduce carbon emissions. Bamboo is easy to change into a material that can be easily obtained around the site. Therefore, it can be used continuously during repair work. Next. The room was modularized. The lower floors were arranged for halls and accommodations. On the second floor, there are not only accommodation facilities, but also central garden and rest areas. It is possible to form a bamboo shade, as shown in the figure below. This allows people to avoid direct sunlight when they live indoors and lower the temperature. Next.
Next, I would like to talk about the new station. And the previous new station was in a very inconvenient location, so we propose a new station in more western location. The new station will incorporate a geometric roof, rooftop greenery, and wall greenery to make it more conveniently friendly and easy to use. Next slide. In addition, there are several vacant lots around this site, which will be used as information space for sightseeing and parking lots for tourists. Next, please. Next, I would like to talk about the local food market. To the south of the station is a vast field where we propose to set up a market selling local produce. Here too, we will incorporate rooftop greenery and the solar panel to make the architecture environmentally friendly.
This map is about the location of the glamping site. They are located on the left and right sides of the outline circulation, and you can enter the glamping site through the road from the village and the outline circulation. Next page. Next page. The glamping site provides accommodation and observatory along the coastline, surrounded by the flora and fauna. This image shows the west part of the coastline. Since glamping site is surrounded by nature, you can see the scenery that changes with the season. Both glamping buildings and the observatories are made of local wood, so they are eco-friendly. Next page.
And we make the temporary structures to take advantage of vacant spaces. Next page. Next page, please. Next page, please.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a problem of connection, I think. It's okay.
Okay. And we do the temporary mobile cars along the roadside and seaside to form a temporary bazaar to sell foods, antiques, handicrafts, and so on. And next, please.
Sorry, okay.
It can be folded up for easy movement and save space, and uses local materials like bamboo and wood, combined with wooden joints. Next, please.
You can see the climate in this page. Dainu is usually cozy and warm place to be in. You can enjoy natural activities like camping and swimming during the year. Especially our promenade could be used along all along the year. We also imagine temporary shops and events at the end of each month.
So talking about the actor on the site, we try to express our project through 4 scenarios to take place that will take place in different time and use different means of transport, but always with short distance. We have a family that will visit the elderly house. Therefore, the activity needs to answer old and young interest. We also have the one-night trip tourists that will use the local transport train and enjoy to do the glamping, to see the fauna and flora. And we also have maybe the cyclist that will bike along the seashore of Itoshima and will quickly discover Dainu, and the inhabitant that will enjoy the new pier where it can now fish.
Finally, I'd like to introduce our suggestion for improving CASP ratings. The first is to improve the street environment with the aim of improving the landscape and pedestrian safety. The second is proposal for park and ride system aimed at reducing the number of cars entering the district. A visitor can change from car to train around the Fukai station, which has relatively large traffic capacity, and come to the Dainu area while enjoying the view of the sea from the window of the train. The third is to actively use material related to Itoshima that can harmonize with the nature. As a result of, next please. As a result of these several other efforts, we were able to improve our CASP rating from 1 star to 4 stars. We can still improve on some of the issues that remain. That's all. ちょっとじゃあこれから日本語で説明したいと思います。お手持ちの資料をお持ちの方はその第2の資料をご覧いただきながら、聞いていただけると幸いです。私たちは糸島の第2地区についての提案を行います。第2地区は半島のように海に突き出した地形となっており、この地形によって生まれる多様な自然風景の保全と居住者も含めた利用者の利便性の向上を目標として開発を行います。 提案には軸となる2つの戦略があります。1つ目は半島を一周できる歩道を整備することです。現状、第2地区は東側と西側の各道路が半島に対して行き止まりになっています。それらを半島を一周してつなげることで、海も山も味わえる心地の良い散歩道を創出します。この開発によって自然への悪影響が出ることも懸念を抱く方もいらっしゃると思いますが、山林に適度に手が加えられるようなきっかけになることで、より良好な景観を守ることにつながると考えています。2つ目は、地区のメインロードとなる道を半島の中央に定めることです。1つ目の半島を周回する道に加え、この道を定めることで後ほど紹介する半島に点在するアクティビティへのアクセスを向上させます。また、現在は半島の東側の付け根の付近に、駅があるんですが、駅を、このメインロードと筑紫線の交点付近に移転することで、よりメインロードの利便性を高め、ひいては、地区全体も利用しやすくなることを想定しています。また、メインロードでは空き家を活用した宿泊施設や小規模な商業施設等を計画し、地区全体をこの道路から盛り上げていく予定です。これらの主要な戦略に加え、東側海岸周辺にはデザインを統一した移動可能な仮設デスクを設け、屋台や人々の休憩所といったさまざまな活動の場を提供し、西側海岸には既存のグランピング施設やのハイダーウェイを海岸線に沿って拡張させることや、新駅の近くに地元の農林水産物をはじめとする特産品を販売する市場を設け、これらの活動を先ほど紹介した2つの道によって円滑につなげます。また、これらの活動は持続的なものでなくてはなりません。これらの提案と同時に、環境性能をキャスビーによって評価しました。現状の評価は星1つでしたが、新規の建物には自然に配慮した糸島と関わりの深い材料を用いることや、道路の形状を歩行者と自動車が共存しやすいように工夫することや、舗装を透水性の持った石畳の素材を用いることなどで、星4まで評価を上げることができました。最後になりましたが、今回のデザインキャンプを通して、持続可能な開発のものがいかにさまざまな要素と関わり合っているかということを再認識しました。今後メンバーそれぞれの活動で生かしていけるような貴重な経験になったと思います。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
Yes, Aidan先生、it's your turn again.
藤先生、藤さん来られてたんですね。気づきませんでした。ご無沙汰してます。十和田の時は取材させていただいてありがとうございました。いや、藤さん来られてるんだったら、ぜひコミュニティの話とかをもっと進めていくといいような気がするんですけど、この地区っていうか、このチームは特に自然環境に恵まれてますよね。半島みたいなのがあって、集落の規模も小さくて、で、特にいいと思ったのが、駅の移転ですよね。ただ、今、海岸線の端っこのところにあるのを、真ん中に来て、メインストリートにぶつかるところに駅を移転するっていうのは素晴らしいんですけど、まあ、250メーターぐらいしか距離が離れてないんで、その250メートルのために、まあ、莫大な予算を使わないといけないのをどう説得させるかっていうのは、赤星さんに相談してほしいっていうふうにコメントをどっかで書いたと思うんですけど、赤星さんのコメントが聞きたいのと、まあ、私も今ちょっとテキサス戻ってきたんですけど、イタリアとかに行くと、小さな村で観光地として、まあ、世界中に注目されるような場所がいっぱいあるんですよね。シエナとか、サンジョミニアーニとか、まあ、トスカーナの、ヒルタウンとかですね。まあ、そういうところはやっぱりまあ、バスなり駅なり降りるとメインストリートがあって、そのメインストリート上に、まあ、主要なレストランがあったりとか、ホテルがあったりとか。なんで、今回グランピングとかの施設もあるんですけど、まあ、まあ、鍵を借りれるとか、宿泊の手続きとかできるのを、そのメインストリート上に集めて、で、そこにですね、まあ、地域の人との、コミュニティの場所である、まあ、藤さんに教えていただきたいんですけど、まあ、コミュニティの場所を作って、で、漁港がありますよね。漁港までわずか400メートルっていうのすごい魅力的な場所ですよね。だから、 その漁港をうまく活かして、地域で取れた魚とかをそのままおろしてきて、海鮮のレストランとか、それもチープなものもあってもいいんですけど、すごく高くて富裕層が満足できるようなレストランとかも作ったりとかすると、このエリアっていうのはすごくピカイチな観光拠点にもなるのかなっていう可能性。すごい観光バスが乗り付けてとかそういうのにはなってほしくないんですけど、少数でペイしていくような高付加価値のエリアになる可能性のある場所かなと思って聞いてました。なんかいっぱい言いましたけど、Your site has a high potential, very compact. You have a fisherman's village, also that the coastline with the pretty sand dune beaches, and also the very little peninsula within that like a 5 to 10 minutes walk. So I really like to encourage you to make this not like a normal tourist destination, or can be more like a high-end tourist destinations, utilizing the local seafood, and also make really high-end restaurants. So not for the like a tourist buses coming, maybe more like a private users are coming. So it can be like a Tuscany in Italy. The Tuscany has a beautiful hill town such as Siena, San Gimignani. Those are very small scale. So there is a station, then main streets. Main streets centralize most of the activity generated. So you are making a main street, which is a really good idea. Relocation of the station is also a brilliant idea, but the distance is only 250 meters. So I sent some comments before to ask the opinion of the Mr. Akaboshi. He worked for the Ministry of the Infrastructure, the Land and Transportation. So he knows how to make that happen, if it's feasible or not. But it will be really beneficial for that area to relocate the stations and restructure the kind of infra. So it may work much, much better than what it is. And then finally, I was not expecting Professor Fuji is here because of the attending online. The windows of that audience is very tiny. But now Professor Suihiro pointed him, so I knew he's in the classroom. So it'll be a great opportunity for you to, for us to involve his feedbacks about how to bring some community spaces in this area. Thank you. Well, thank you for the hard work and the brilliant proposal.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do we have further comments? Akahoshi-sensei, yeah, it's your turn.
はい、赤星です。駅の移転についてはぜひ生かしたいなと思ってちょっと調べてみたんですけども、この駅ですね、ちょっと細かい話になりますが、すれ違いをする駅なんですね。でホームが2つあって階段がありましてバリアフリーになってないっていうことがありました。で今度移設の駅はですね、行き3と同じ構造になりまして、要するにシンプルな一面一線という形の、ホームから直接道路に出れるっていうことで階段がなくなるわけですね。そうするとこれバリアフリーの予算ってのはいっぱいありますから、ちょっとそんな工夫ができないかなっていうのをちょっとリアリティを出すために僕の中でちょっと考えてみました。いや、これは全然話はないと思いますが、バリアフリー問題ってのは重要ですから、はい。ちょっと英語で言ってみましょうね。With the relocation of the station, it will have the same structure as Ichisan and will be barrier free. Barrier free budgets are abundant. I want the student to consult with the city hall. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very fruitful discussion. And do we have more comments? 先生、大丈夫ですか？ Okay, thank you very much. That was wonderful.
ありがとうございました。
So let's invite the group 5 to present their work.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is group 5, and our group consists 9 people, and our basement is in Fukuyoshi. This is the catalog of content that's our entire presentation. And let's take a quick look at the first 2 parts, the site condition and site analyze. The site condition is about include history and the land use. And this is building sensory and population condition. The second part is the site analyze. We use SWOT analyze to summarize the nodes that we think are nodes noding. This is a summary of SWOT and the position diagram. Then we propose our goals based on our summary, and then thoughts about how to achieve these 3 goals and final integrate them into 3 strategies. The 3 strategies guide us develop the 3 phases of the whole design. Phase 2 is a short term and to accumulate money and improve happiness of the residents. Phase 2 is the middle term goal is develop more business and improve faculty to attract more people. Phase 3 is a long-term goal to accept new residents and develop more business. Our design also consider who will take the lead, the government or commons, and how to accumulate money through the early small updating to promote the subsequent transformation for sustainable development. So this is our master plan. The design areas radiate from the early center areas to the later whole areas. This is the first phase focused on small areas. The first step is to solve the transportation problem for local residents and potential visitors by building a new station. And since the strength of these areas is the school and the kindergarten, we want to create an area for children to play. So we choose a corner of the beach. And we developed the renovation of the middle areas from the station to the beach. The second phase is an extension of the first phase, the surrounding of the improved areas, like the surrounding community center and ports are developed. Community centers serve for local residents and ports serve tourists. Furthermore, we want to improve the happiness of the residents through the improvement of the beach road and the park, which also can attract tourists. The third phase is that after accumulating amount of popularity, this region can further improve commercial service. For example, the development of the hotel and the island, which also provide more jobs. And the government should be ready to accept new residents. Here is an analysis of how all the design spots are related. Sorry. Oh. I disconnect, sorry. Then we pick up for 5 important spots to design. The following is the specific design part. The first part is a new station.
Regarding the central area on the shortest route between the mountain and the sea, we focused on the unique points along the road with the concept of a road connecting the sea and the mountain. We are focused on the bus station located on the right side of the route. Public transportation in Fukuyoshi and nearby village exists only on the subway. We propose a new public transportation bus station here, which will increase convenience for local residents, and Fukuyoshi village will be able to establish an active relationship with the surrounding village and revitalize the village. Recycling the existing platform of Fukuyoshi subway station and connecting with the new bus station will help people access them from the both edge of Fukuyoshi. In addition, the location of the new bus station will increase access to religious sites and help revitalize local agriculture and marine products direct sales. There are also cultivation areas such as sunflowers and leaf flowers near the bus stop, providing an open view. We partitioned the bus stop road zoning. Instead of demolishing existing building and building new station, it was intended to create synergy between the bus stop and region road remodeling of existing buildings.
The building A and B will be remodeled to local specialty market, and also it can provide new workplace for local people. B is community library and C is existing leather workshop. The blue area is the bus station, and the building next to station will provide service like lending bicycle. These old buildings can be utilized by everyone, including residents and tourists. By accepting the existing context, we changed empty outdoor space to playground, yard, and experience area of farming with sunflowers and rape flowers. So this is the image of what we think. This is the local specialty market, community library, the existing leather workshop, and local specialty market, service center near bus station, and this is the bus platform. The next part is about pedestrian paths.
Okay, next. So within 1 km from new station, plan the road to various areas. You can see the castle landscapes, river, and other facilities. Then to the west, you can connect to the JR station, walk into the beach, and finally to the hotel. You can play all day. Okay, next.
Sorry, my. Okay. The main part of the pedestrian path is greening and set some street furniture. We set street tree and flower beds to show the site hasn't greening. For the pavement, we use the paper stone. Two parts of pedestrian path are a little different with the main design. The one is nearby the port, the restaurant.
すみません、声が聞こえなくなりました。
Okay, so this area connects many landscape points. So it is a place that need to be focused on design. And next, so it is a very special to have a house landscapes in a nature river coast, and it can be connected to the coast. So it's very suitable to be developed into a transitional nature space. Okay, next. In the section, you can see the stair connect the bridge and in a way that does not damage the dike. Then we plant maples, raise space and beach to increase a greening. Okay, next. And this is the model. Okay, next. The next is an amusement corner.
As for the amusement corners updating, we shifted our perspective to a larger scale. Next page, please. First, we choose this plot to build our service cabin. Next page, please. Where many people gather. Here you can see using wood material along with wooden platform to create a cozy atmosphere. Next page. Then let's take a closer look. I adopt an inclined roof to correspond with the trend of viewing and put some solar panel on the roof to save energy. On the right, there are several thick planks inserted the stairs. You can sit on it lying down against the slope to enjoy the sunlight. And the right of the cabin is dressing room. There's a very low window on the wall. Because of the slope, you can see plentiful sunlight and greenery. Next is the inner functions, toilet, bathroom, and dressing room. I put the entrance of toilet at back to be convenient for travelers and maintain a good view, and take the disabled into account. Then create the aisle and the entrance of bathroom. After that, dress yourself, then get outdoors. Next page.
My part is this area. Next. This picture shows the entrances of the passage to the beach. The 4 entrances are relatively evenly distributed on the coast. Public places connected to passes have cross-flow connections with the beach. Next. Some important public places in the neighborhood of the beach will be the main source of the visitors to the beach, including a baseball field, a primary school, a parking lot, a park, and some other places. The related visitors are children, local residents, and tourists. We design landscapes and service facilities corresponding to the theme for visitors. Next. Near the entrances of passes to the beach, we choose 4 nodes to serve people of different identities. Next. The corner of the beach is one of people's favorite places to gather. A platform structure is built here at the rest area, which anchors the big steps nearby. Here, people have a good view of the sea. Next. At the entrance of the path connecting the beach and the primary school, we built a multi-story platform for children to gather. Next. In areas with relatively low coastal slopes, we built children's slides and climbing trails on slopes for children to have fun. Next. At the entrance of the path connecting the beach and the park, we built a wooden plank road to increase interest for tourists. Next. This picture shows the continued landscapes of nodes we designed on the beach. We built some structures to enrich people's activities. Next.
As an example of phase 2, I will explain the redevelopment of ports. First, at the Fukuyoshi fishing port, there are facilities such as processing the delivered fish, making ice, perhaps making salt, and selling few fishes. but they are in disjoint locations and not very open to consumers. Second, Fukuyoshi fishing port is a popular place for fishing. However, local fishermen are dissatisfied with fishermen from other areas leave their garbage. On the other hand, visiting fishermen want restroom and facilities to rest. In front of the Fishermen's Cooperative Association, there is a large backend area, but it is usually not used at all. Only used during the Fukuyoshi Industrial Festival once a year. During the festival, tents are set up on both sides of this street. Then we will build a new facility at this location. Here they can buy fresh and processed fish, some ice and salt. It might be nice to have a restaurant that uses them. We place the deck on marine side and the street side. At the time of the industrial festival, the tents will appear like this. Then they can be used together. If there is such a facility, there will always be people, so visiting fishermen's manner will be improved and they will become able to rest. Final is summary.
As a summary, there is our case-based simulation updating for the earlier 2 stars to 4 stars. We complete the design in the phase 2, meaning to improve the environment quality and reduce the environment load in the public space and the outdoor environment. So that's all. Thank you for listening.
最後に、日本語の方で少し要約をさせていただきます。私たちは福吉地区の提案をするにあたって、福吉地区の敷地調査項目っていうものがありまして、それが人々の生活、交通、ビジネス、教育、環境、水と海、コミュニティ、そしてイベント、この8つに分類をして、それで分析を行いました。で、この調査から、住民の幸福度を高めること、他の地域の人々が訪れたいとか住みたいとかと思わせるような地域にするということ、そして永住をする人を増やすこと、この3つの目標を定めました。で、このことをもとに私たちの提案では3つの段階に分かれています。まず段階1というものが、赤で示されていますが、バス停の新設や、周辺環境の整備、そして川沿いの歩行者道の整備だったり、砂浜への小道の整備というようなことにより、小アクセスの向上を目指します。で、段階2は、緑で示されているところなんですけれども、漁協や公園、そして、砂浜のその各エリアの整備とともにビジネスの発展を図ります。で、最後に、青で示されている、段階3については、福吉地区に長く住んでもらうために、新しい居住エリアの開発だったり、そのゲストハウスやホテルでのその居住体験を通して、その移住とか、定住とかを促すような内容になっています。以上で、このグループの発表を終わらせていただきます。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
Great. So it's your turn, Aitan Sensei.
これマスタープランってありますかね、このチームのマスタープラン。今映してるやつがそうなんですかね。
左上に映ってるやつですか。
ちょっと私は勘違いしてた可能性があるんですけど、このチームも駅を移転するんですかね。移転するんじゃなくてバス停を作るだけですか。 あれ、ごめんなさい。声が聞こえないんですけど。
聞こえます先生。
あ、大丈夫ですか。
はい。
いやもし、駅を移転するんだったら、この、集落の成り立ちとかを見るとですね、あんまりコメントになってないかもしれないです。この漁港を中心にした、こういう三日月型のエリアと、こちら側に広がっている集落と、2つあるんで、この結節点になりそうなあたりの方が、交通の要衝っていう拠点としていいんじゃないかなっていう印象を受けて、先ほどのチームも駅を移転するでメインストリートを作るっていう話だったんで、今回の場合はですね、そういうふうな視点で見ると、なんかこれをメインストリートっていうか、動線にして、2つの地域をつないで、その間に出てくる部分を変えていくことで、なんか将来的な提案ができるのかなっていうふうな印象を持ちながら聞いてました。
井谷先生、これは、福吉に加えてもう一個提案すると、駅を。
もう一個、はい。
右の方に、福々の里にくっつけて、駅を提案するという内容ですね。
こっちにですね。わかりました。はい。ありがとうございます。
Yes, Saiten Sensei, are you done with your comment?
Yeah, I've done, but I didn't say in English, so maybe I misunderstood during the process. So yes, I was thinking you are relocating the stations. So if you are relocating the stations, when you look at the cluster of the settlements, there is a one around the fisherman's ports, and then there are another hinterland areas. So the place in between that the harbor and the fisherman's, also the hinterlands, this intersection could be a good location for the new station. But that was my misunderstanding, so I shouldn't continue commenting. But overall, it's a quite good proposal. Thank you.
Great. Any other comments from Professor Hiro? Do you have anything to say?
I have a feeling you've been proposing these 3 stages, and this strategy, to think about the time kind of procedure is quite a good idea, and then you've been talking about rather overall strategy, which is also in a way good. But on the other hand, your story is pretty. Your story has a lot of points, and these points are not really related, I feel. So, as a proposal of the development, in this kind of area, then I think it is maybe better, and it is better proposal to talk about along with the one very clear story, and then in your proposals, I felt this fisherman story is quite important, because this area is has a quite a big port, for fishing, and so if you are concentrating on much more about these fishermen and the fishing population, kind of hobby fishing, population is pretty interesting. And if you can think about the relationship between these two, different people, and making kind of communication within this group of people, and then this area will be a pretty attractive, area, I thought. So that is my comment. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess it's time to move to the next presentation. Thank you very much. It was really brilliant. And just take all the comments into consideration. And that was really a good educational event. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's give a good applause. And I would like to invite the last team, that is team 6, to present their work.
This is group 6. Our site is Shikaka area. This is our site. Shikaka area is between Fukuoka and Itoshima. There is beautiful views from Shikaka to both Itoshima and Karatsu. From Shikaka, Itoshima has land view and Karatsu has island view. Here is more zoomed in view of the Shikaka area. Shikaka has sightseeing place named Anegonohama, and Shikaka Station is the most western point of Fukuoka. Next, I'll explain about our wind analysis. To know the potential of Shikaka area, we research about wind in summer and winter. Summer wind mainly comes from these two directions, and winter wind comes from here and here. I'll explain more about winter winds. Regarding winter winds, we have divided them into cold wind and a little warmer wind. And this is a cold wind analysis. The cold wind blows in, so it would be colder in Anegonohama Station than Shikaka Station. And this is warm wind. The typography of the Shikaka Station makes it difficult for wind to blow in. And if it does, it is likely to be relatively warm. And all of us know that there is high sightseeing potential in Anegonohama, but after the wind analysis, we learned about high winter potential of Shikaka area. And this is a problem. There is no theater to watch movie in Itoshima. In order to watch the movie, residents have to go to Fukuoka for an hour. And next program, during the summer season, many people travel to Anegonohama, and there are many people who bring their cars because there is no train station in middle position. And from the issue of our site, people come to Anegonohama Beach by car. So we consider to make new station at Anegonohama. But after deciding to make new station, we notice a new problem. We worry about about that people might be stopped at new station and they leave without coming to Shikaka area. So we first designed a commercial facilities about 50 meter from 500 meter from Anegonohama to Shikaka, and then consider to connecting Anegonohama Station and Shikaka Station by a promenade to lead tourists to Shikaka Station. Also, we designed the Anegonohama and Shikaka Station with the promenade and commercial facilities. Because of these potentials, we consider to use Anegonohama Station as temporary station only in summer, and in winter, movie theater events are held at Shikaka Station. Next station design, please.
Okay, I will explain the details of the station part. We focus on 3 issues of the site. First, Itoshima has no space to watching movies. Next page, please. And second, many people travel to the Anego Beach. Next page. Third, Shikakas empty houses are created everywhere. Next page. So we propose to remodel Shikaka Station for tourists and residents to liberalize the community and eventually regenerate the village. Next page. And we want to increase the accessibility of residents and tourists by creating Anegohama Station. Next page. Anegohama Station is proposed in the form of a temporary station for many travelers visiting Anego Beach during the summer or festival period. Next page. And additionally, we suggest a cinema program. People will be able to watch movies in Itoshima, and people can also see it with the beach or mountain view of Itoshima. Next page. Considering the analysis of the wind, next page, the movie theater will operate in different places depending on the season, because warm wind usually comes to Shikaka Station in winter. Next page. So in winter, the cinema is operated at Shikaka Station. People can enjoy the surrounding mountains while watching movies indoors. And it's operated in Anego Beach during the period excluding winter. People enjoy the scenery and movies freely on the beach. Next page. Briefly, from June to August, temporary stations are provided for many people who come to festival and trip. And in winter, you can watch movies at Shikaka Station, and in other periods, you can watch movies at Anegohama Station. So through this, Anegohama Station and Shikaka Station will be maintained. Next page. We think during the summer and festival periods, tourists can easily access Anego Beach, and residents can create a new place to enjoy and create small film festival. Next page. Now I will explain the shape of each station. We are inspired by the design of natural environment around the station. Next page. First, it's the part of the Anego Station. We try to use the slope to secure a view of the sea. Next page. This is our design process. First, we divide the area around the train lane up and down and stretch. And the space was emptied around the lane, and the mesh was stretched to open the view to the sea. Next page. Anegohama Station will have an observatory and outdoor beach cinema. Next page. So people enjoy nature and cultural life at the same time in cinema of the Anego Beach. Next page. Outdoor beach cinema can be transformed into other forms on special days. Next page. This station will be connected to the promenade, sidewalk, and beach cinema. Next page. It's a view from the railroad. Next page. Shikaka Station is a place surrounded by mountains and villages. Next page. We put masts parallel to the railroad and connected the promenade to the observation deck of the building, and some parts were removed
to harmonize with the mountains. Next page. People will watch movies freely indoors, looking at the scenery of the Shikaka Mountain. Next page. Shikaka Station will also be connected to the promenade. Next page. This is entire image of the Shikaka Station. Next page. Finally, Shikaka Station and Anego Station connected by the promenade, and because it's a seasonal movie theater, it becomes a promenade shelter when it is not used as a movie theater. Thank you.
About commercial facilities. This is our site. There is 2 valleys here, so we can see both Anekonohama and Shikaka Beach from top. The direction of view is like this. We put facility like this. Next, I'll explain about our facilities diagram. Next, following diagram is shown from the Anekonohama Beach. Because the incline is so steep, the promenade is placed like a serpentine to make the slope steep more flat. The facilities are placed along it. The facilities are all organically arranged so that the roof of the buildings becomes a slab on the next level and blending into the nature. The building under the roof will be used as a facility. The place on the roof becomes a viewpoint to look out of the beach. This is the building's view from Anekonohama Beach. We also think about using Shikaka character into design. We use a line of sight to create a view like the next perspective, like this. Next, we'll explain about programs about facilities. There is beachside facility and mountain facilities. People can see the beautiful beach from both facilities. And there is here, and we design only road now. But we think this place has potential to become some facilities like a hotel or campsite. About mountain facilities, there are cafe, shopping place, museum, cottage for vacation, and marché. And about landscape, there are walking road, little park, and a ropeway. I want to show some perspectives. This perspective is from the blue triangle place. And next is cafe and shopping place. This is plan, and this is a shopping place perspective. And next, this is a little park, like this. And next, this is a restaurant, and restaurant plan, and restaurant's perspective like this. Next is museum. Here is the top of the ballet, and this is plan, and this is a museum perspective. Next promenade, please.
Because site 6 is mostly linear space, we use domain to connect the station and the commune area. First of all, we set streets, churn, and installations are combined to attract tourists and child the view of the beach from the new station. And we have a viewing platform was built in the adjacent to provide a safe place to view the sea. In the end, on the permitted near the station, there is an storage space like a way to tourists to stop and rest. Next page. Since most tourists come here by car, encouraging the parking space can increase the number of tourists and stay. Set up a bicycle station next to the new station to encourage tourists to use bicycle for sightseeing. In combination with the permit, some art installation and Roman pens are set on the beach to enrich the visitors' experience. Next page. We also provide place for the temporary bicycle parking so that system can also stop here. The viewing partners with high difference increases the viewing angle. In addition, watching the screen of the train passing by can always attract people to watch. So there is also a view on the viewing performed where you can watch the train. Next page. The shape of the train is merely simple, and the shape of the wave is sent to equal the ocean. The whirlwind is more in line with the main share of Japan culture. Next page. We also provide space for the temporary bicycle parking. At last, we sort out what kind of shop and facilities you will come later on the present permanent road. Next page. And that is all.
This is Casby. Our score is A. Thank you for listening. And I invite first, 日本語でさっと説明します。私たちのシカカエリアは糸島と唐津の間にあって、で福岡県の一番端っこにあります。で、シカカエリアには猫の浜ビーチっていう観光地があります。で、そのシカカエリアの、ポテンシャルを知るために風解析を行いました。で、これが夏と冬の風解析なんですけど、冬に関して、冷たい風と、ちょっと気持ち暖かい風っていうので分けてみるとこんな風になって、でこれが、冷たい風の方で、このことから、姉子の浜のそのビーチには、冬には冷たい風が入ってきやすい、来る可能性が高いっていうのが分かります。で次にこれが、少しだけ暖かい温度の風なんですけど、このことから、地形的にシカカ駅周辺には、風が入りにくいのと、あと風が入ってきたとしても、少し暖かい風の方が入ってきやすいのかなっていうことが分かりました。なので姉子の浜、駅には、観光地としてのポテンシャルがあって、でシカカ駅には、なんか冬の、イベントとかのポテンシャルがあるんじゃないかということが分かりました。で、問題として、映画館が少ないっていうのと、なんか姉子の浜に来る人が車を使って、駅がないので車を使ってきているので、それをなんか歩いてきてもらえ、電車を使ってきてもらえないかなっていうので、新しい駅を作りました。で、新しい駅を作ってみると、新たな問題として、その姉子の浜の向こう側のシカカ駅周辺まで人が来ないんじゃないかっていうことを が懸念されたので、商業施設をちょっと間の鹿賀寄りに作って、でそこをなんか通って鹿賀と姉子の浜駅をプロムナードで結ぶことで、人々を鹿賀の周辺まで来てもらって、で鹿賀の、ビーチはすごく魅力的な場所なので、そういうことを考えました。で、そのさっき言ったポテンシャル、観光地としてのポテンシャルと冬のポテンシャルのことから、姉子の浜駅は、夏だけの一時的な駅として利用することを考えていて、で冬には、鹿賀駅で、ムービーシアターのイベントを開催したりすることを考えています。でちょっと時間がないので、建物についてはちょっと省きます。以上で終わります。
Okay, thank you very much. 伊谷先生。
はい、はい。風の解析をして、夏の場所と冬の場所っていう着目点は非常に素晴らしいと思いますよね。っていうのが、デザインだけじゃなくて、環境的、構造的な側面から、統合的な解釈をして、解放を見つけていくっていうのがサステナブルデザインキャンプのもともとの、アイデアだったんで、そういうエンバイロメントに着目するっていうのはいいと思います。ただ、冬に、外で映画を見たい人がどれだけいるかなっていうのは、むしろ疑問を感じたところで、それよりも今、夏がですね、暑くなってきてるんで、その映画を見るってやっぱり夜になりますよね。暗くないと屋外で映画とか見れないんで、夏にですね、夜映画とかをやった方がいいんじゃないかなと感じました。で、特にですね、先月1ヶ月、5週間イタリアにいたんですけど、ローマって想像していたよりも暑くて、日中はもう外に出れないぐらい暑いんですよね。特に今の温暖化で。で、太陽が陰ってきて、6時ぐらいからだんだん急激に涼しくなって、今1ヶ月間ですね、そのシネマフェスティバルっていうのをローマでやっていて、ローマだけじゃなくて、そのパラディオのビザンチンとかでもですね、やっていて、それが夜にですね、屋外空間を活用してるんですよ。皆さんが提案しているように、スクリーンを立てて、そこに人が集まってシネマを見る。それ一箇所だけじゃなくて、いろいろ点在してるんで、その夜、気持ちいい天候になってから、人がイタリア人12時とか1時ぐらいまで騒いでるんで、ぴったりなんですよね。だから、そういう活用の仕方があるのかな。で、テンポラリーっていうのが特に良くて、やっぱり一年中やるっていうのは無理なんで、その季節と、温度とか環境とかに合致するようなプログラムを、年間を通して、もしくは、局部的に、部分的に提案していくことで活性化させていくっていうのは、非常に魅力的なアプローチだなと思って聞いてました。で、新しい劇のオンパレードで、そんなに予算があるのかなっていう不思議さはあるんですけど、もう駅を作って、そこを回遊させるような建物で、提案しているのが、サーペンタインって言ってましたけど、一度末広先生と、LSPA の学生を連れて、アメリカのですね、コネティカット州にある、グレイスファームっていうサナ、瀬島さんたちが設計した建物があるんですけど、それも、皆さんが提案しているのに非常に似てて、ただ、シンプルにですね、そのサーペンタインの中に全ての機能を埋めてるんで、どうせやるんだったら、その一本の道が全ての機能を集約してるっていうふうにする方が、スムーズなストーリー展開になるのかなと思いました。以上です。盛りだくさんで、9人いるからかもしれないけど、盛りだくさんな提案で、なかなか精力的にやってるなという印象を受けました。
ありがとうございます。
はい。So my impression is analysis of the wind direction was quite convincing. The idea of the sustainable design camp was the integration of not only design, with environmental system and the structure. So approach by analyzing that the environment is quite effective, then you find the solutions. However, the cinema in winter, I'm not convinced because it's really cold. I don't know, people really happy to be outside. But on the other hand, cinema during the evening in the summertime could be a quite attractive events. So people may come for the beaches during the summer, and the daytime they lay down on the beach. At night, when the temperature cool down, you have a cinema entertains along the coastline, not only one places, multiple places will attract some people. So it was quite good. And finally, you have connecting the one new station and all the stations. I'm not quite sure how much budget you can get for building the station. I see that the 3 stations, already 3 new stations. But if you make the stations, the connection between the new and old by the serpentine building could be interesting. We visited the Grace Farms by the Sana, located in the Connecticut in America. In that project, Sana proposed that the serpentine that integrate all the functions under the line of the serpentine. You have proposing the similar shape, however, you have another buildings adjacent to it. So in order to make it more simple and successful, maybe bring all the functions under the serpentine roof, including that the path could be better. That was my comment. But you have 9 students, so you have many proposals. That's really impressive. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Adan Sensei. Thank you very much. And so maybe we can ask one more comment about this particular group. And after that, I'd like to move to more general comment section, but not that long, but we can have, say, 5 minutes or something so our visitors can comment on the overall design and feeding of the proposal altogether. But right now, if you have any comment or question from our group 6.
I have just one comment. I mean, the temporary, you proposing temporary station, and then now, of course, this train is basically one-man kind of driven train. So just, I think it's not so complicated. I mean, it depends on the service, but if you know the train is serviced by a very easy way, then the temporary station is not so difficult to make. I mean, the facility doesn't need to be so sophisticated, so it doesn't cost so much, I guess. but then in this case, this place of Anegonohama has have a lots of potential, I felt, because it's quite close to a golf club, and also this Anegonohama is also used for surfers. I mean, surfing. So of course, it's better to have some facility here in summer, but also in winter, might not maybe in winter, but in autumn or spring, you know. But there are so many surfers coming here, so there are several, possibilities to use this station. So you can we can think about to open the temporary station in the weekend, you know, or holidays. So that is one possibility. And then at the moment already they have some kind of service area, parking area here. So the parking area, if you are making a station next to this parking area, then this zone will be a kind of a crossing point of a station, I mean, train and cars and other traffics. And also you can think about some restaurant and other facilities. So that might be, quite feasible and possible. So I appreciate the idea. So, okay, that is my point.
Thank you very much, Group 6. That was fabulous. And thank you so much. Okay, we'll finish this your presentation now. Okay. Congratulations, all 7 groups. That was great. And finally, I would like to take this opportunity to allow our guests, professors, about 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, where to give us a general comments. So, 先生方から、5分ぐらい、あとありますので、白先生、また呼びます。はい。ジェネラルコメント何かあれば、少しお聞きたいんです。角先生は何かありますでしょうか。
はい、聞こえますか。
はい、どうぞ。
はい、すいません。非常に皆さん素晴らしい1週間で頑張りました。本当は私たちは今年もコロナの影響で、日本へ行かなかったからちょっと残念ですが、私がオンラインで、自分は図面だけのところでいろんな学生と討論したり、先生と討論したり、本当は実際の現地も行かなかったから、自分からの意見とか、合ってるかとか本当に心配しています。そういうところはオンラインやっぱり制限があるので、そういうところはちょっと今回のいろんな提案、また日本の先生たちもちょっと現地と合わせてもうちょっとご検討いただけませんか。合ってるかとか本当に心配している。台湾の学生たちもオンラインでGoogle マップでいろんなものを図面とか、特に今年私たちの卒論のテーマも海岸線のデザインから、非常にいい練習と思いますが、卒論前にちょっと海岸線のデザインも合わせて、そういうところを今年に学生にとってはいいと思います。はい。I think sorry, my office. 跟他讲一下。Sorry. I think for this year we cannot go to Japan because the COVID-19. For us, we cannot go to Japan. But for me, it's worry about because I just online to check the map only for the map. And I cannot go to the site, so it's something that's image, just only for image. So if maybe something too wrong, it's not good opinion for this program. So please recheck that. I think that's important. For designers, we should go to that place. I think that's important. So I just for my memory, and because when I'm a foreign student in Japan, I go to there several times, but just in my memory, and I go to check with the internet. So for students, they can communicate with a foreign student and work together. I think that is good. So if next year, I think we want to go to Japan and back to Japan and with the workshop with everybody. Thank you very much. 来年ぜひ行きたいと思います。はい、ありがとうございました。
Thank you. So looking forward to meet you again soon. So I'll take a few more comments from Visan. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。藤です。この前は、ズームでお世話になりまして、リアルで来ました。すいません、日本語で。Only speaking Japanese, I'm sorry. 聞いてて、すごい、さすが、常識にとらわれない提案がたくさんあり、面白いなと思ってました。いくつか視点がもうちょっと欲しかったなっていう視点があったんですけど、海岸沿いにのアプローチがあったんですけど、実は山のアプローチが面白いと思ってます。で、狩猟ができる。まず、そういうエリアであるということと、実際問題になってます。イノシシが出たりとか、いろんなものをどう捕まえるか。で、それで今日の提案で聞いてて、一つ思ったのは、そうだと思ったんですよ。古い漁村の集落の街区が残ってんですよね。大乳にしてもそうだし、特に大乳かな。で、福吉の一部もそうですし、だからそこをホテルっていう、宿泊っていう話もあったんですけど、多分その古い街区の中に、ゲストハウスができていって、例えば、漁師の家にホテルとか、狩猟してる人の家にホテルとか、宿泊とか、農家の家に畑、田んぼの真ん中に宿泊とか、でそこと、お店もつながるとか、なんか新しいそういう滞在の仕方、作りながら滞在するとか、そういうことができるかなっていうのが一つ感じておりました。すごく面白いなと思ってました。で、この元2条のエリアは、他の東の糸島地区と違うとこは、やはり JR の路線沿いにあるということがすごくやっぱ大きいと思ってて、どうしても JR の駅を使ってっていうのがすごいキーになると思ってるんですね。で、駅を使う利用者としてはやっぱり今、車の社会になってるけど、今後、今のね、若い人たちも車の免許持たない人多いでしょ。で、高齢者になると、僕もそろそろ目が危ないけど、車乗れない人がいる。だから、車乗らない人のユーザーに対してのどうアプローチをするかっていうこともすごく重要かなと思うと、皆さんが今日提案してたように、駅から、その他のとこまでのそのアプローチの道路をどう作るかということだと思うんですけど、糸島のこの4つのエリアのところには、高速道路が通ったんですよね。ずっと何年か前に。無料なんですよね。だから高速と低速っていう分け方とか、中速、低速の分け方とかができるんじゃないかなと思っていて、昔からそれを希望してます。昔、博多駅周辺でも低速、中速専用道路とかどうだろうと思って、人と人力だけ。だからそういうステーションで、さっきあと清野先生もおっしゃったアシストですね。で、今そのダウンヒルとかのなんだっけ、もうアウトドア用のバイクというか自転車の電動アシストがすごく僕の周辺で流行ってて、今まで全然走れなかった林道とかもどんどん登れる、すごい登れるし、ダーッと降りれる。なんかそういう自転車とかが出てきてるので、その山に向かってどうなんていうかアクティビティ作っていくのかっていうことを考えると、山の中、川の中での釣りとかも含めて、なんかそういうどうアクティビティ、どう過ごすかっていう視点でもうちょっといろいろなその接続を作ればいいんじゃないかなというふうに感じたことがありました。なんか糸島のポテンシャルっていうのは本当にいろいろ高いものがいっぱいあると思うので、そういうことを、いろんなことを考えてやっていくっていうことを本当に嬉しく思って聞いてます。もう一つだけ、糸島の特徴で移住者が多いんですけども、ちょっといろんなタイプがいます。一つはやっぱり自然農をやる人、農業、自然農ですね。で、これをやる人が結構移住してきてます。あと、新しいベンチャーをやってるビジネスやってる人。だからそれこそ遠隔のシェアオフィスであるとか、自分たちでのそのリモートワークをする人たちが入ってきてます。その人たちのもう一つすごく特徴があるのが、フリースクールが増えてます。これはすごく重要だと思ってます。だから自然の中で子供を学ばせたい。 だから今までの学校制度じゃないところで、自分たちで育児しながら、自分たちで学校を作っていこうとしている。そういう時の教材というか、学ぶ場が糸島にはいっぱいあるっていうことだと思うんですね。でそういう意味では九州大学もそうかもしれないし、いろんなもちろん農業、林業、水産業も含めてなんですけども、その自然の中でただ過ごすじゃなくて、学ぶ、子どもを育てるということに関心を持っている人がたくさん移住してきているということもすごく注目すべきことかなというふうに思っています。以上です。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。もう一件ぐらい誰かいますか。赤星先生、何かありますか。住民として。
最後いいですか。はい。すいません。じゃあ画面の方で喋りますね。Thank you everyone. Thank you for your hard work. I'm proud to have participated in this project and I was impressed by the hard work of the students. I think everyone's presentations are great because they show the advantages and potential of Nijo area. I believe this plan will have a positive impact on this area. Thanks again for the good work. ということで、頑張る皆さんと本当ご一緒できて非常にですね、刺激的な1週間過ごすことができました。2条を深くですね、知ってもらうことができたと思いますし、今後2条が注目される中でですね、実際にどうなっていくのか、今回の提案と見比べてどうなったかっていうこともですね、今後も注目というか、フォローし続けて、皆さんフォローし続けていただければというふうに思っております。ありがとうございました。
先生方、今日ありがとうございました。
最後にちょっとだけいいですか。
どうぞ。
すみません。今回ですね、オンラインで参加してるんですけど、なんか最初に聞いていたスケジュールから、なんか初日の次が休みになって、それでなんか1日ずれて、私のスケジュールと全てなんか被ってしまって、あんまり参加できなくて、非常に申し訳なかったと思ってるんですけど、今回1週間でワークショップやって終わってるんですけど、実はこれからどういうふうに今回やったワークショップの案を地域に還元していくかっていうことが大事になってくるんで、これから毎年恒例になってるんですけど、報告書を作って、それを発信のネタにしていくので、各グループからですね、1名、出していただいて、その7人プラスアンナと私の9人で報告書をまとめていきたいと思うんで、お願いします。っていう感じですか。
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So 最後に、坂井先生から皆さんに挨拶させていただきたいと思います。はい、お願いします。その後、学生皆さんと先生方、全員集まっていると、記念撮影したいと思います。写真を撮りたいと思ってますので。
じゃあ早く終わりますね。はい、この会場だけじゃなくて、オンラインで視聴された皆様、お忙しい時期にもかかわらずありがとうございます。二条地域の状況を踏まえて7つのグループ見ていただきましたけど、いかがでしたでしょうか。マスタープランチームは全体2つのグループに分けましたね。ポイントとして筑前深江がハブであると、全体の交通結節、それから生活、観光サービスの拠点にしようという位置づけをしていました。で JR と、それから車沿いに車窓から山、海、農地の美しい景観が展開しています。で各沿線の駅をコアとして、便利な移動方法、バス交通、パーソナル交通の環境を提供して、このエリアで生活する人だけじゃなくて、訪問者も各駅を拠点とするエリアの環境を楽しむことができるような提案をしています。で提案されたキーワードは、リラックス、平和な生活とかですね、楽しむとか、自然を満喫するとか、引き継ぐとか、自然と文化の融合、牧歌的なスポット、水辺、 楽しみ方などで、この地域の魅力的な自然と文化のポテンシャルを引き出すさまざまな視点を提示する。この今後の方向性の一つ、重要な示唆を与えたんじゃないかというふうに思います。で、二条エリアは、福岡市から唐津に至る単なる通過点ではない。生活する人だけじゃなくて、ここを訪れる人が洗練して研ぎ澄まされた自然文化を楽しんで滞在できる二条のエリアであってほしいと思っています。で、これは糸島半島全体にも言えることですが、特に豊かな自然が残された二条地域、他にはないダイナミックな環境を有しています。で、これらを大切に育んで他にはない美しい地域になってほしい。願いを込めて結びに書いたいと思っています。お付き合いくださってありがとうございます。環境面のアプローチが、まだまだ弱い。最初に環境のことずいぶん言ったんですけど、構造面もそうですね。構造のことを考えた学生ちょっとでした。この辺はちょっと私たちの課題として、次の、来年また、しっかり考えたいと思います。今日まで、日本の法律はですね、とりあえず置いといて、学生が第一印象で思った、もうハートの中から出てきたことを大事にして考えた、デザインキャンプでございました。いかがでしたでしょうか。ちょっと Not only this classroom, but also everyone who watched the presentation online. Thank you for joining us despite your busy schedule. Students showed us a simulation planned by 7 groups based on the situation in the Nijo and the Itoshima city. The master plan team classified the 4 areas into east and west, namely cultural areas and natural areas, and positioned Chikuzen Fukai as the overall transportation node, base, and hub for living services and tourism services. Along the JR lines and roads, you can enjoy the beautiful scenery of the mountains, sea, and the farmlands from the windows of train and cars. Not only the people living in this area, but also the visitors. They provide a more convenient transportation method, bus transportation and personal transportation environment with each station along the railway. At the core, and visit the environment, the area based on each station as the suggestion that people can enjoy them. The keywords are relaxing, enjoying a peaceful life, enjoying nature, presenting a variety of viewpoints. They have given important suggestions as one of future directions of Nijo. I hope that the Nijo area is not just a transit point between Fukuoka City and Karatsu City, but also an area where the residents and visitors can enjoy the refined nature and culture. The same can be said for the Itoshima Peninsula as a whole, but the Nijo region, which is particularly rich nature, has a dynamic environment that cannot be seen anywhere else. In Nijo, I hope that the environment will be carefree, nurtured, and that will become a beautiful area like no other. We thank you again for joining us today. Thank you very much. 정말 고마워요. 谢谢大家. Thank you very much.
Perfect. We'll take a photograph now, right? So just come front. And those who are joining online, please come to the camera.
Please take on your camera. Students come from Taiwan. Please turn on your camera. Turn on your camera. Yes. Every student,
皆さん、写真撮りますので、前の方お願いします。学生方、先生の皆様、ちょっと、前の方にお願いします。写真撮りますので、